And good evening and welcome to Oman Arena for the Hub City Fight Night. I'm Coach Joe Holloway along with my good friend Gary Lockhart, who will be not only executive producer and director, he is all-around good guy. We're here for some exciting boxing matches. 2 rings, like the old days when this was the hub of boxing in West Tennessee and in the Mid-South. And ring 1 going right now, and we will have a bout. Our first bout over here will be Issa Brownell in the red corner. In the blue corner, of course, Ian Amezcua Rodesa will be in that corner, but we won't start our fight for a few moments. And there's some fast action, a lot of punches thrown in amateur boxing. We'll tell you about some things early, and we'll remind you about them. There are 3-round bouts. Now, the younger people only fight 1-minute rounds. The next older age group will fight 1.5-minute rounds, and the older youngsters will fight or box 2 minutes. And we call it boxing because you're really not fighting. It's a science, the science of pugilism, and you box, not fight. A lot of people have a mistaken identity about that, but we'll tell you and we'll call them out. We'll say boxing out of the red corner or something like that. And, of course, this is a historic arena. As you heard me say a little earlier, the West Tennessee Golden Gloves was held here, but the Mid-South Golden Gloves for many years. One of the greatest ring announcers who also did national ring announcing, former Mayor George Smith from Jackson, Tennessee, was here. And, of course, my counterpart on the other end is the legendary TV celebrity, Steve Beverly. I am a radio man, and I have a face made. Paul is I don't know what he's trying to do to you fans, putting me on, and you can catch these broadcasts on Worthy Road Studios Facebook stream. It will be archived on Worthy Road Studios YouTube page, and you can go back and watch these bouts forever. A lot of fine young people here. And I wished we could mic Gary because he has a lot of good comments, but he is focusing so much on bringing you the best pictures and doing a great job when we start our bouts that he is not going to talk tonight, but you have missed out on one of the smartest young men that I have ever been around. And you may say, well, Gary's not a young man. Coach is a lot older than Gary is. But we're looking forward to it. And, of course, like I said, this is the hometown of the Bowers, Donald Bowers, and the Beard family, Ricky and Jackie Beard, and you've heard of them. Jackie would have boxed in the Olympics had President Carter not sent the team to Russia that year as a protest. And we've had a lot of great boxers. A lot of boxing in Jackson is attributed to the legendary Rayford Collins, who has passed away, but his wife Rhonda helps Lamont Ingram. I had the pleasure once upon a time of having Lamont as a student in the school that I worked at, and he has carried on his coach Rayford Collins' tradition here, and of course gives Rayford a lot of credit for things that he learned. Matter of fact, he actually coaches the Team Ingram, and the Team Ingram's Rayford Collins Jackson Boxing Club was created in August of 2017. And I've got my notes here on a little pad, so bear with me with that. Of course, Lamont himself was a great fighter, and he ended his amateur career in 2004 with a record of 58 wins, 10 losses. 35 of those wins were by knockout. And that young man, and we are being entertained by a great fight to the left or to the right of us. And those young people have gotten after it. Good boxing skills, quick hands. Footwork is very good. Now, we'll let you do a lot of watching. We'll try to keep our comments to a minimum. We will tell you that these fights are scored on a 10-point scale. And we've given you the time frame for them. And amateur boxing is controlled by U.S. Boxing. And that's an important name because you may have a future Olympian fighting right here in this. And, of course, there's been some great Olympians. Muhammad Ali, who fought under the name Cassius Clay when he was an Olympian. And, of course, the man that pulled the flags out, George Foreman himself, who is coming to Jackson, Tennessee in December to speak, was a great Olympic boxer, started out just like these young people. And, of course, the young man Tate that was an Olympic boxer came out of the Knoxville boxing Club up there, and a long history of boxing in Jackson, Tennessee. And I believe, Gary, that looks like probably those young people are fighting a minute and a half. And things are moving, and we'll get this second ring started in just a few moments. And I believe that the ring one is on the BallGame Blitz Facebook page. We, again, will have our bouts. We've got 18 of them in this ring. They've added some bouts. And we're trying to make sure that we get everybody's name right as possible when they add them in. Sometimes the spelling and things like that don't always, because there was a nice list, and we want to accommodate every young boxer. We don't want anybody to be left out, and you get to see them, and whether we get names completely right, you're going to get to see their boxing skills. And we're checking on some things, and lots of security. That's the way they do it. And, of course, this arena has held up to 5,000 people before for amateur boxing. And, again, you're with Worthy Road Studios. You're on their Facebook page. And we're getting all kinds of things worked out. But Worthy Road Studios, a forerunner in all kinds of sports here in West Tennessee. They do any sporting event. They've even done soccer. And a lot of people say, man, you all do soccer. But we do football, baseball, basketball. We've done softball. Paul and his company, Worthy Road Studios, also do weddings, funerals, and church services. And checking the other ring for just a moment. A good job of officiating over there. And if you hear me talk to Gary Lockhart, he is not mic'd up because he is being producer, director, and doing a lot of things. And a little warm in Oman Arena. It can get that way. This arena has been here since the late 60s, originally called the Jackson Coliseum. It was changed to honor Coach Turi Oman, who was a legend in Jackson. He came here from Minnesota. He played football against Bronco Nagurski and a lot of y'all. But Mr. Oman was also well-versed in the manly art, which now ladies also box, of pugilism, which is boxing. And he encouraged young men. Matter of fact, he introduced it into the PE curriculum here in Jackson in the 30s. And we've had some good ones. He was going to try to be an amateur boxer, but the legendary Ed Too Tall Jones actually was boxing and practicing over at the old Jackson Junior High where the boxing club was. And his head coach from football and basketball came and convinced Ed that his future was in football and basketball, and he went on to a great career at Tennessee State, all-pro career with the Dallas Cowboys, and we are getting close to boxing. A very nice young lady is going to officiate this first bout. We were talking a little bit ago, but this is the same arena that, and I also need to point out, Gary, that Ed Too Tall Jones was 6-0 in professional boxing, and then he went back to the Cowboys. And but we've had some great athletes. Wilt Chamberlain could have been a great boxer. And, of course, like I said, our ring will have the red and blue corner. Watch the gloves. That's how in amateur boxing you identify people. And they have just given a winner in the other ring and will award a belt. And I believe most of these fights will be championship flight bouts, and they will award some team awards. And our first bout, as we told you before, wearing the red gloves, is a Brownell has come into the ring, age 9. And they are 1-minute rounds. And, of course, Ian Amezcua Rodeza will be into this fight. They'll come out of the blue corner to my left. And you can see the great shots by Gary Lockhart of the ring. He will adjust the camera and produce. And Rodeza has appeared now in the ring, getting the mouthpiece. And I believe Brownell is ready to go, wearing the red gloves. And we are not far from having boxing. Of course, you'll see the referees wearing protective gloves as we still take care of things in a proper and sanitary manner, COVID and everything else. These bouts come under the USA boxing rules and supervision. And again, we want to thank not only Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins, but the Jackson Old Hickory Rotary Club. We see their banner hanging in the south end zone of Oman Arena, which is a circular arena that holds 5,000 people. And the referee will give the instructions now. And this age, at age 9, they are exciting. They'll throw a lot of punches. And remember, they're on the 10-point must scale. And, of course, they make the announcements. And the referee checks it, and we're into action. And there go. I told you the punches are going to be quick. And a lot of leather being thrown. They lock up just a little bit and back off. Brownell is throwing a jab with the right hand. Of course, Rhodesia, right-handed, and he'll jab with that left. And again, good protection. They lock up. Referee separates them. Going to check Brownell right now. It's a Brownell being checked. You see the count, and she says, it's okay, let's go, gentlemen. 1 minute rounds. And like I said, watch a lot of leather thrown. You want to get that protection back up against the ropes. And that's not a good place to be. And getting away is Brownell. Rhodesia, very aggressive. Looking to throw that right haymaker, missed with one. And again, they scored on that 10-point. And cutting the ring down and cutting the dancing ability. And that's the end of round 1. And like I said, man, that made me, I enjoyed it. But if I was up there trying to throw the leather, Gary, I'd be dead dog tired right now. And these young men, though, they are ready and getting their instruction from their coaches, getting some water and, of course, the towel. And coaches really care about these kids. They try to instruct them in the best of self-defense. And as we told you, boxing out of the red corner is Issa Brownell. Also out of the blue corner, Ian Amezcua Rhodesia. And we get a good look at both corners out of this. And again, you can see these. Call 5 people right now because they're missing some good boxing, and tell them that this is on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page. This is ring 2. If you know that you've got a boxer in ring 1, you'll want to go to the BallGame Blitz. And here we go, round 2. And again, the leather flies fast. Back again against the ropes. Brownell trying to get out of there. Rhodesia stays after him. He's very aggressive. Blocking a good punch. And remember, they've got to score those punches cleanly on that 10-point scale. The young men sizing each other up. Here goes the leather being thrown again. You see one blue is Rhodesia. We got the blue gloves, and the red gloves are Brownell. That's how you tell them apart. Both dapperly attired in their boxing outfits with headgear, and that's required, the headgear for amateur boxing. Nice combination there, a miss on a swing. Now that one, and they'll check, and that is the end of the second round. These rounds go fast. And I'm used to what little boxing I do. I've got to work years ago with Bill Way, who was once known as the dean of boxing announcers around here. And, of course, in the other ring, the legendary TV man, Steve Beverly. And older kids, for the most part, in the ring 1. But if you want to see the leather fly, you watch ring 2 here, and you want to call, like I said, family members. If you don't have a person that you know boxing, watch and call them and tell them the youngsters will really throw those punches. Good coaching, great officiating going on. The young lady that is officiating, and we weren't given their names, I'd love to give her credit because she really knows what she's doing. And you see the young man, and again in the red, Issa Brownell. In the blue corner, Ian Amezcua, Rhodesia. And Rhodesia comes out quick, both of them throwing punches. And we're wrapped up in the ropes, got out of it. Referee steps in. And Brownell ducked a couple of punches. Rhodesia's got quick hands. Watch the footwork, too. That's something very important. Staying balanced. And when you throw a punch, recovering, because you want to have that glove up to block if the other man counters. A lot of dancing around the ring here, and there go the punches again. Like I said, youngsters, I'll sneak a peek over on the other side. A little more defensive and not the big punches thrown till they throw the haymaker in the older guys' ring. These two young men, Brownell and Rhodesia, have put on a good exhibition. And we have been up against rope. Again, the referee does the proper thing, separates them, and they go to the corner. And like I said, this is great. You'll see the gloves come off. They will bring the young men out to the center of the ring. The referee gets the decision of the judges. And she will take it over to the recorder. And they're ready to hand the belt in to the official. And these are nice belts and a plaque for the runner-up in this. And Gary, I'm impressed with these young men. And they have entertained me quite well and shown good skills. And we'll check and see who the winner is when it is announced. Both fighters very confident right now. And the winner comes out of the red corner, Isha Brownell. And again, this is a 9-year-old bout, and with the 1-minute rounds. And they're now taking pictures of the young men with the belt and the plaque. Okay, they have changed. They checked the scoring, and the winner out of the blue corner now becomes Ian Amezcua, Rhodesia. And sometimes that happens. You have to double check that, and you see Rhodesia with the belt. And, of course, Brown gets a plaque. Brownell gets a plaque, but I thought both young men put on an excellent, excellent fight. I can't wait for the second match. We got Max Harrison coming up and Zane Baskin. And, of course, Gary has provided you with the names of the boxers and which match they are in. They will flash up on the screen. And stepping into the red corner, this is a peewee bout. It says age 10 on here. 10 and a 9-year-old. Max Harrison 10 and Zane Baskin is 9. And again, with some of the bouts being added to it and trying to make sure all young people get seen, hopefully we don't make a mistake on spellings, and we got to check as many of the names as we could. It's good to see young men. This keeps them busy, and I know here in Jackson, many a young man has been helped by the boxing club here, and Lamont Ingram does a great job. And as I told you, for the ones that are just now tuning in on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page, Lamont was a great amateur fighter in his own right. He has also had some association with Floyd Mayweather, which says quite a bit. And they're making the introductions. First out of the red corner was Max Harrison. Remember, he'll have the red gloves on. Out of the blue corner, getting referee's instruction, Zane Baskin, who is actually, we had a scratch in that, and Zane is boxing in this slot. Max weighs 56 pounds. Zane weighs 64.4 pounds. They will box 1 minute rounds. And again, the 10-point must scale. And we are ready, just about it. The referee will signal when the bouts start. She's doing a good job of checking to make sure that everything is in proper order. And there's the bell. And the fighters come out quick. And again, you see some good punches. Dancing around. Here we go with the attack. They'll back off, get their defense, size up, throw the jabs, and then you'll see a right cross and stuff every once in a while. Two right-handed fighters here. Wanting to throw the big leather at times, but they'll make the jabs and score the points. Now you can hear Harrison getting some instruction, and also Baskin. Baskin in the blue, Harrison in the red. And there's the jabs, and a right hand lands by, actually both fighters landed a right hand in that sequence, wearing the protective headgear so they don't get hurt. I like these two gentlemen's defense. They get those hands up and protect themselves quite well. And again, they're going to separate them as a minute goes quicker than you think in Pee-wee boxing. These young men, someday you may be looking at two future Olympians. Of course, again, the judges are scoring this fight from the side. I'm not going to score. My judges' skills have gone awry because I haven't scored a match since 1988. And again, we'll remind you, you can watch this and you can call people and tell them they can see these great matches on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page. This is Ring 2. We have a lot of the younger boxers in this, and we'll get some older ones later, but the young ones are boxing here with Gary Lockhart and I. Gary, like I said, he is wearing many hats today. But before the one day's over, I'm going to get him on air because he would be a treat to hear the insightful comments of Gary Lockhart. And look at these young men throw that leather. And again, pretty good defense out of these two young guys too, but they also throw mean punches. This time the attack by Baskin, he's throwing now. Here comes a comeback by Harrison. And they're exchanging punches into the blue corner. And fighting out of it is Baskin. Back to the middle of the ring. Good footwork. These young men got to have stamina to do that. In the red, don't forget that's Harrison. In the blue is Baskin. And if you're new to boxing, you tell by the color gloves they're wearing which corner they come out of and who they are. There's a couple of jabs. And now Harrison brings back a punch. And both men exchanging leather. And we're going to call them young men, Baskin. And that's the end of round 2. These rounds go quick in Pee-wee boxing. Harrison will use the stool, but Zane Baskin will stand up over there. He gets his water and, of course, the towel. His coach has given him instructions. Same thing happening in the red corner, except for Max Harrison does use a stool. He's getting his water. You can see the famous boxing equipment company Everlast water bottle over there. And, of course, you see the referee goes to a neutral corner. And in 2 bouts, she has done a wonderful job. It's tough officiating sometimes. And I know from coaching basketball and football that if you're an official, and I've officiated a little bit, sometimes only 50% of the people are happy and another 50% are unhappy. But this young lady, everybody's got to be very happy with her work. Here they come for the 3rd round. Getting after it. Harrison in the red, and now, boy, you see punches also by Baskin thrown. These two young men have put on a great show. There's a punch right at the legal area above the belt. Lots of leather being thrown. Got to get those hands up, and they do, to protect themselves. The only punches that really score are the ones that make true contact. They are fighting. The belt will be awarded after this round. And I see a few more punches by Baskin thrown, but a lot of them were blocked. And now Baskin is blocking Harrison's punches. Harrison got one through then. It will be interesting to see how the judges score this contest. These two young men have thrown a lot of leather. They've landed some. They've blocked a lot of punches. And you see Harrison blocking Baskin's punches. And they kind of tie up for a minute, but not long enough to have a break. The official now breaks them, and that's the end of the round. And after 3 rounds, they'll go to their corner. Both young men putting on an excellent exhibition. The referee collects the judges' ballots, which, like I said, is done on a 10-point must scoring. They take the headgear off. They'll go to the center of the ring. And whether you win or lose, you need to be proud of your skills and the effort. And like I said, I would tell you if it was not a good show. These two young men are to be commended for the excellent bout. Okay, you can see in the background some of the older kids warming up for their bouts. Zane Baskin has come out first from the blue corner. And Max Harrison comes, and the referee, of course, will hold both hands up. Everybody gives them a round of applause here at Oman Arena. We're awaiting the judges' decision. It will be announced here in just a moment. And they will double-check these like they did in that first bout and got things corrected. Nobody had to protest or anything. They do a good job here with double-checking and making sure they get things right. And here we're awaiting the announcement of the winner of this Pee Wee bout. This time out of the red corner, Max Harrison has won the bout. Both these young men, good display of sportsmanship there. And, of course, a plaque. They hug each other. And Zane Baskin gets the plaque. And you always go and speak to the other corner and talk to them. You'll see the young men leaving the ring. We'll be bringing up a third bout here in a moment. Aviv Lewis and Martel Yatheel will be coming up. And again, we'll tell you if we mispronounce some names, we did have some people that were added to there, and we had to hand put names in there. And I think if you saw that great picture Gary gave you, you saw that they always medically check the young men after a bout to make sure. And what a great operation here, doing things right, making sure everybody's okay. And there are some happy young people here. Now this should be a little older age group, and we'll check it. This is a bout that was added in as the no, this is the third bout. Lewis, we've got two 12-year-olds coming in here. And one of them is Aviv Lewis, who weighs 76 pounds. He's 12. These are still 1-minute rounds. And then Martel Yatheel, he is 12 years old and weighs 77.8 pounds. Both young men dapperly attired in their boxing outfits. Their trunks, if you prefer the professional term. They've drawn a crowd of older young men to watch them over there that will fight later in the day. And we are just about ready for round one. Remember, Lewis is wearing the red. Yatheel is wearing the blue. Got the gloves. Red and blue gloves is how you can tell. These young men, very quick hands. Good stance. Lewis got a couple through. Now coming back is Yatheel. Good foot movement. There was a quick jab getting through. Both men threw one. I didn't see if they landed enough to score. And some, just because they're thrown and look good, if they're blocked, they don't score those punches. And again, Lewis out of the red corner. Yatheel out of the blue corner. And that means the gloves will match up so you can tell who the fighters are. There was a series by Lewis that scored some points. And that's the end of round one. And We saw some good punches by both young men thrown. Coach is up in the ring talking to them. Of course, they get water between rounds. Sometimes if a muscle, and they try to keep their fighters loose. Strategy is talked over. And the referee is so important in an amateur bout and doing a very good job. Again, we're at Oman Arena. It's Hub City Fight Night. Worthy Road Studios bringing it to you on their Facebook page. Ring 1 is on the BallGame Blitz page. And you can watch all of this, and both rings will be archived on YouTube under Worthy Road Studios because the BallGame Blitz is actually part of Worthy Road Studios. Here comes the second round. And again, they start out in the center. Good footwork. Good retreats. And they'll jab and counter. As you get into older round, there's a flurry of punches right there. Getting a little excited, and now this time the blue corner, that's actually Yatheel, gets off a round that scores. There's probably a scoring punch this time by Lewis. A couple of punches get through, and you see why they have the protective headgears on. Now they'll lock up. The referee will separate them and tell them, let's go at it again, gentlemen. And the punches, the flurries, and they'll separate them. They're going to check the fighter. And again, this is about safety. We want to learn the skills. Oh, there's a flurry right there again. Some scoring punches, and that ends round 2. And both fighters go to their respective corner. And you see the scoring for each round being picked up. It'll be tallied. And, of course, after round 3, we'll have a winner. And like I said, this bout, and these two young men, I think, have a future. These are 12-year-olds. They have a future, and this is a round. If you're a coach and you feel like you're behind, you've got to score a few points. But a lot of good punches have been thrown in this one. We also have seen some good defense. And remember, you don't score on punches that don't land, and just hitting the other person's glove doesn't count for points. 10 points must scoring system. And last second instructions given. Here come the fighters, and again, it's Lewis in the red, Yatheel in the blue. Quick flurry, I didn't see any contact. Of course, I was blocked a little bit. Again, good blocking, and punch didn't score there. There's a couple of scoring punches that came through. And you can hear the crowd getting excited. This bout is drawing some excitement. These two young men can throw those jabs and the right, and there's a big right hand coming from the red corner, and Lewis. Yatheel has gotten, there's a jab that may have snuck through for scoring. And again, you be the judge at home, but these men we have scoring this fight are right on top of it, and they are well trained to score this fight. And the bell rings, that ends round 3, and the official will pick up the round 3 scoring. I'm going to get a bout from my buddy Gary Lockhart and send him up there for the 19th bout of the night. And he's probably going to get me before the night's over if I keep saying stuff like that. But again, we appreciate Gary. What a great director. He is my producer and director for Jackson Christian football and does a great job. We've traveled the road quite a bit. We'll get a home game, but Gary and I, we're probably going to have to go to Nashville Christian in 2 weeks. And interesting trip coming to there. Great bout by these two young men. Aviv Lewis with the red corner, Martel Yatheel with the blue corner, and both of these young men have put on an outstanding exhibition of boxing. and we'll get the announcement of the winner. They are double checking the scoring right now. Okay, looks like it. Dave Lewis, the 12-year-old out of the red corner, has won. Both men get something. You get the belt if you win. You get the plaque. There's the great sportsmanship. And like I said, these two young men are to be commended for an excellent bout. They'll go off to the side there, get checked by medical personnel. And a great job with safety here. Again, USA Boxing is the kind of parent organization, but this is Hub City Fight Night from Oman Arena. Now, bout 4 to come up out of the red corner, Lewis Ahole. And he will fight Nathan Tauren. This is one of the bouts that was either moved up or added, and we appreciate the officials giving us a new sheet. This is out of the BAT division. And I want to, hopefully she can hear me, commend the official for an outstanding job that she did. We'll change officials now. Always good to see great officiating, keeping the young people in mind and their safety. Got a great bout going on over in ring 1 while we've got a little time in between. And you can see the official putting on his gloves. And again, this is part of not only COVID, but just for general safety too. And I like the way this tournament's being run. Lamont Ingram and, of course, Rhonda Collins doing a lot of work. There are a lot of volunteers I don't have the name of that we would love to say something nice and appreciate. And you see the two fighters getting up in there, and these look like younger fighters. We were not given the ages because, like I said, they were added to the list. But we have in bout 4, Lewis Ahole and Nathan Tauren. And, of course, the great graphics, the work with the camera, I can take zero credit. Gary Lockhart, Worthy Road Studios, and, of course, our executive, Paul Schultze. Down at the other end, like I said, if you get a chance, check out Steve Beverly. Steve has done boxing and TV since I have. I'm more a man for radio, and if you see the picture, and I'm having to push my glasses up, didn't bring my glasses holder that keeps them on my head sometimes. I have the face that's made for radio. Max Kellerman, who's I know Max would be, he would laugh if he knew I was being on camera today. Max, of course, famous boxing announcer. You can hear him on ESPN and does a good job. He had to put up with another gentleman for a long time on the same show. He's got his own show now. A gentleman that I met in Philadelphia one time, he probably would remember me, but that would be Stephen A. Smith. But we've got youth boxing here, and this is Lewis Ahole and Nathan Tauren. Nathan is in the blue corner, and, of course, Lewis is in the red corner. And we are just about ready for action. Hole is introduced. And now being introduced is Nathan Tauren. This could be a very, very quick-handed bout. These two young men, now the gloves are kind of big, and you can again tell who the boxers are by the color of the gloves. And a lot of times their outfits, when it gets down to a championship bout, you know who is wearing red and blue. Now, we're going to talk to the official, grabbing control right off the bat, giving instruction. These young men are ready to get after each other. They may come over here and get Gary now before it's over with. No, these are disciplined young men, and you learn a lot of discipline in the manly art of boxing. And I say manly, but there's some young ladies that are doing a great job now with boxing. And so the referee has gotten control. He's given his instructions. He's checking with the scoring table. And, of course, some young ladies that helped Gary and I out both. There's the bell. And a lot of quick punches. They get in. You want to get inside, get some punches. Obviously, you're looking to land that big right. But right now, the real aggressor is Lewis Ahole out of the red corner. Nathan Tauren throwing a little defense now. He threw a big right. I didn't see if it connected. You want to protect you. There's two that probably scored. And then a jab. And Tauren trying to make sure he keeps those hands up because Ahole is very quick throwing the punches now. Strong coming in there. And again, you're going to see a lot of leather fly in these younger matches. Now they lock up. The referee will separate them. There's a missed punch, and they lock up again. Now the referee steps in, gives a couple of instructions, and we're back. There is the end of the first round, an exciting first round here at Oman Arena. Now, the one thing I miss in football and in basketball, Gary, I can take a 30-second timeout right now. But the Facebook broadcast runs on in the Hub City Fight Night, Worthy Road Studios, and the BallGame Blitz, which the BallGame Blitz is part of Worthy Road Studios, bringing you live action from Ring 1 and Ring 2. We're getting ready for the second round. And if you don't believe me about if I told you something was wrong, I will, because last night I had a couple of comments about football officiating, and I was told by a 38-year veteran of officiating that Wesley Freeman and I were exactly right, and we did it in a professional way, just like these young men showing good boxing skills. And again, we'll remind you that Lewis Ahole out of the red corner, Nathan Tauren with the blue and the blue gloves. Now Tauren getting a couple of punches in there. The real aggressor in the first round was Ahole. And you'll see them duck punches. Got to keep those gloves up as they've tried to do. That time there may have been a punch get through and score for Ahole. I think Tauren may have gotten one scoring punch. There's one miss in there. And they'll separate. And they're going to check it from the blue corner. They're going to check Nathan Tauren. And these are for safety. And Nathan ready to go again, but the referee wants to make sure. And he's going to bring them back together, and we're ready for action. You see a punch get through there by both fighters. There's one that scored on the chin a little bit. And that's the end of the round. And both will go to their corner at the end of round 2. And I see the trainer wearing a Granite City boxing shirt for Lewis Ahole in the red corner. And I cannot see the shirt from the blue corner right now. And, of course, Nathan Tauren standing up this time, not using the stool, getting his water and instructions. We will be ready for round 3. The belts have been brought over. The young man that you see walking behind me in the background is the young man that delivers the belts and the plaque. Got some of the best officials in the area, and they don't all come from West Tennessee. There are people and fighters and officials from Kentucky and some surrounding states. 2 rings going at the same time. We're ready for round 3. Both fighters, you got to score now in this round 3. And again, Ahole in the red gloves, Tauren in the blue. And we'll check again. This will be the second standing count for Tauren. The referee doing a good job of checking him. And again, safety, we want to learn skills. And I don't believe the official likes what he sees, that maybe one or two of those punches get through. And I think he is stopping the match, which would mean that Lewis a hole in the red corner will win this match over Nathan Tauren. And again, this is good safety. They'll take the headgear off. Both fighters will get checked after the match by the medical personnel. And I believe Tauren has he was stunned just a little. He's recovered now, and he's talking to the coach of the red corner. And I think that this has been a good job tonight by both fighters. We give them a thumbs up. And out of the red corner is Lewis a hole, the winner in this bout. He'll get his belt in just a moment. They'll bring both fighters to the center of the ring. And if I'm not sure you can see it, but they do put the belt right there. The official comes over. You see him picking it up. He'll award it and a plaque. Nobody goes home empty-handed here. And like I said, we'll get the official announcement. And again, we want to thank Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins for all of their hard work. Here comes the announcement. And you now see the official winner out of that red corner, Lewis a hole, and he will get his belt, and the plaque goes to Nathan Tauren. And then they will exit the ring to the red corner side, see the medical personnel, make sure everybody's okay. And then we'll get ready for bout 5, which was also changed and added in. We have Levi Jenkins going from the red corner in the bout coming up, and Leo Blancas in the blue corner. Should be an exciting bout. And we've got some good music going on as both rings are waiting to start up. And you'll hear in the background the introduction. And of course, you really don't get a great look because we want to of the whole arena, but this is a historic arena. For 20 years, the NAI Women's National Tournament was held here. And of course, there is a banner flying in here. Oman Arena is the home of the 500th victory of Pat Head Summit, who was head coach of the Lady Vols so long, and that happened back on November 21st of 1993. The Women's NAI tournament is not being held here anymore, but Oman Arena has been home to a lot of basketball, bull riding, and other things, and now we are ready for our bout. They'll bring the fighters to the center. The official, after the introductions, will give the instructions, but Levi Jenkins out of the red, and this is Leo Blancas out of the blue corner. Both listening intently to the official, and they bump the gloves and they are ready to go. And again, it looks like we've got two right-handed boxers ready to come out there. You see them staying light and on their toes. You don't want to get heavy feet. And coming out of the blue corner strong is Blancas, and he is throwing a lot of leather and trying to dodge those punches right now. And there's going to be, well, they'll check the fighter out of the red corner, Levi Jenkins. And I think that's a good judgment on the official's part. Blancas came out there, and here he's ready to go again. Both fighters throw punches. A swing and a miss by both fighters. A couple of jabs have landed. Trying to cut the ring down as Blancas and cut the size of it. Good footwork, though, keeps Jenkins moving. Jenkins with a flurry then, even though he's up against the ropes or fighting close to the ropes. There's a couple landing punches. This fight has a lot of action. I know the coaches may say, gentlemen, we're throwing a lot of punches, but let's keep the defense up. That's the end of round one. Stools are brought out. And of course, the towels, the water, and the instruction. And it looks like that out of the red corner, Levi Jenkins is going to stay standing up. You can see him getting a little water not only to drink, but sometimes you got to cool off. And I guarantee you those headgear are hot. You think a football helmet's hot. Trust me, these leather headgear, but they're very protective. They're hot. The official has used great judgment. I think he's doing a good job. We saw in the first few bouts the young lady. I wished I had their names because they deserve credit for all of this. Leo Blancas off of the stool. Levi Jenkins in his corner chose for him to stand up. Jenkins with the red, Blancas with the blue gloves. And then again, a flurry of punches. Blancas getting more punches in right now, and they'll check again against Levi Jenkins because there was a real flurry that happened. And they are waving. The official has called this bout and brings Jenkins over to his corner. And this means that Leo Blancas should have the win here. The belt being brought over as this fight is stopped. And it's great to win, tough to lose, but the young men have shown, and I like the coach consoling his fighter. In the red corner, which was Levi Jenkins, Leo Blancas comes over, and the fighters hug. And the sportsmanship and camaraderie is very, very good. And now you see that Jenkins comes over and talks to the coaches of Leo Blancas. We'll wait. They'll go out, and we'll await the official announcement. And as you can see, Lamont will make that announcement. Out of the blue corner, Leo Blancas in bout number 5. The fighters exchange pleasantries and pick up their hardware and will exit by the red corner so they can be checked again by the medical personnel. You're watching and listening on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page. Ring 2. Ring 1 is on the BallGame Blitz. And again, you can see the fighters being checked. And it looks like bout 6. Ryan Foster coming in at 103.4 pounds against Mason Bonin, who weighs 132.2. These are 12-year-olds, but this will still be 3 rounds of 1 minute. And it is good to be here. We appreciate all of you folks that are watching tonight, and humbly ask you to have patience because this announcer hasn't done boxing since 1988, but enjoying it. Fine to see the young men, and you're at the home of, one time it was also the West Tennessee Golden Gloves and the Mid-South Golden Gloves, which was when you won that, you went to the Nationals in Golden Gloves. We've had Silver Gloves bouts here in Jackson, Tennessee, and of course the Hub City Fight Nights, and you have big opportunities here with USA Boxing, and this bout is sanctioned under USA Boxing. And again, Lamont Ingram, who has his boxing club, and he does a lot of things in honor of his former coach, who I got to work with at one time, Rayford Collins. Rayford was a great human being. He passed away. His wife, Rhonda Collins, continues to help the young people. And such good work here, and we appreciate all that they do. So again, boxing out of the red corner will be Ryan Foster. Boxing out of the blue corner will be Mason Bonin. And we can see their coaches up giving a few final instructions. And of course, I see the toboggan on the head of one of the young men. It always reminds me of Burgess Meredith in the Rocky movies, you know, in the early ones. And he was always attired with that. That was kind of his symbol as the manager of Rocky Balboa. We are moments away from boxing here. We're not fighting, we're boxing. We use skills, we have discipline. They will announce ring 1 first. You've got an older bout, and then looks like Lamont is coming this way to announce the ring 2. And bringing out from the red corner, Ryan Foster, a 12-year-old. I believe this is still a BAT division bout. Several boxing clubs from all over the Mid-South here tonight for this. And like I told you earlier, the Jackson Old Hickory Rotary Club's banner in one end. There's a lot of great sponsors. And you saw coming out of the blue corner, Mason Bonin. Now, he's actually got the black outfit on, but again, you tell by the gloves who the boxer is. Bonin in the blue, and in the red, Foster. Round 1 is underway. Foster got a couple of jabs through there. There's a roundhouse by Bonin, and a flurry of punches thrown. Both fighters early sizing each other up. Foster getting a few more punches in. And remember, punches that miss or are blocked don't score. It's a 10-point must scoring scale. Young men in the center of the ring, and you can see the leather flying. And now they'll, again, the referee, and this is done for safety. He will check the fighter. He'll send him over to the corner. And I can't tell because I'm trying to look through the official. Maybe a little blood there. I am not used to sitting back. You can see me on the split screen. And I scoot forward sometimes because when you call football and basketball, you're used to leaning forward a whole lot. And again, I wished we could get Gary on. I'm going to tell Paul we need to mic Gary because Gary's been through all this. And like I said, a delightful young man, brilliant with electronics. And I would be lost without Gary sometimes. Probably be lost all the time when it came to getting a game on. I can talk, but technology. And again, we're doing a little medical work, and I believe we do have a bloody nose over there I can see, and the official doing a good job. This young man has been, both officials have been very safety conscious. And we see the medical personnel come over here, and we're going to try to stop the bleeding a little bit. And that would have been one of my problems with that till I had my nose cauterized. Gary, I had a lot of bloody noses. I could just be running real hard in track or in football, and all of a sudden the nose would just start bleeding. Sometimes with a little impetus from a glove, that helps a little bit. And you can see the great medical personnel working hard here to check and fix things up. And I believe we will adjust and maybe take off the headgear. And I cannot read the lips very well, but they are checking Mason Bonin. And we do appreciate our personnel, and the headgears may be coming off, and we may have a stopped bout here. And this happens sometimes in boxing, but like I said, everything done to protect these fighters. And you can see if a little bit of blood over there from that, and unfortunate that the fight ends that way. But again, we do everything can to protect it. The medical personnel will work on the nosebleed a little bit. And while we've got a delay, we'll award the belt in just a couple of moments. Always some great music in the background here. And if you're watching and live in Jackson, you could still come down here and see these matches live. We've got, of course, 2 levels. We got the orange seats close to the rings, and then you've got a nice set of seats, and there's not a bad seat in Oman Arena. And the gloves are off. This match is over, but they'll still pick up the scoring. And we will award the belt here in a minute, but out of the red corner, Ryan Foster will be the winner of this match. And the official changing gloves because of anytime there's any blood on, you get rid of and go to a fresh set of gloves. And every procedure they have. And here's Lamont Ingram with the announcement. And again, out of that red corner, Ryan Foster. And again, both those young men were 12-year-olds. We've got an intermediate fight coming up, which will be bout 7 of the night. Cameron Reeves out of the red corner. Aldo Blancas will be fighting out of the blue corner. And we don't have access to this information, but I wonder if Leo Blancas and Aldo are brothers, cousins, or even kin to each other. But a lot of times families like the Beard family that's famous from here in Jackson, I believe everybody, including Obi, one of the youngest ones. And I know Ralph at one time did a little boxing, but not as much as his 3 other brothers did. And, of course, Jackie Beard, who actually went pro for a while and would have fought in the Olympics. He's from Jackson, Tennessee, too. We'll change officials. I think each official must do 3 bouts apiece. And again, I want to thank these officials. We've had 6 well-called bouts. The safety interest of the young people have been protected well. Of course, the officials are also trained in scoring when they're not officiating and they're at a table. The referee has been to both corners. And this is bout 7 in the red corner. Cameron Reeves, 125 pounds. He's 15 years old, going against Aldo Blancas, 128 for the weight, 14 years of age. These will be 2-minute rounds, and we'll have 3 of them, 3 2-minute rounds here. And I think the appropriate instructions have been given, but the appropriate round timing for the younger ones is 1 minute. Now, there's a few of the fights that can go 1 minute and 30 seconds. They'll be in the other ring. We've got 1 minute and 2-minute round fights in ring 2 on Worthy Road Studios Facebook. These are older young men, and a lot of leather will be thrown by them. They're very focused if you look at them. Reeves in the red corner, Blancas coming out of the blue corner. Of course, they are also, their trunks are red and blue, and they'll break. A little instruction given about how to break properly. And Blancas wearing all blue, all red for Cameron Reeves. Now we've locked up again, which is a good tactic. lot of defense by Reeves, a lot of punches by Blancas being thrown. And the referee again giving clinch, as it's called, instructions. So my boxing terms coming back to me. And again, they stay on the move, try to keep their balance, watch the footwork as well as the gloves. And I know we all like to see the punches and stuff, but there's a lot of science to boxing. In the corner is Reeves. Blancas had him, he got out of there, and that's a good place. You don't want to get caught and pinned in the corner. And sometimes when you get in a clinch or locked up, clinch is the proper term. Now we'll try not to over-commentate this bout. Enjoy the two young men. Again, Blancas in the blue, Reeves in the red. Watch the action in the corners. I always want to keep that defense up there. If you want, here's the clinch again. We'll have a break. And we're going to check because evidently a punch got through that may have left the fighter a little glass-eyed. And the round has ended. They send them to their corners. Stools are out, the water's out, the towels, and the instructions are coming. We're at Oman Arena in Jackson, Tennessee on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page doing the streaming in Ring 2. Ring 1 is on Worthy Road Studios BallGame Blitz Facebook page. Gary Lockhart along with Coach Joe Holloway. Down at the other end, Paul Schulze, and a TV celebrity of sorts here in Jackson, Tennessee also is the Professor Emeritus of Communications at Union University, Steve Beverly. And we're in a very historic arena as we are ready for round 2. 2-minute rounds in this one. Blancas in the blue, Reeves in the red. Gloves and outfits both match the corner that they are in. Lots of leather flying right there. A missed punch, and they got a jab in by Blancas. And you see the jabs from Cameron Reeves then. Again, keeping your defense up, your gloves up. You take your jabs and you look to throw the haymaker or throw one that lands, and it did land, and we'll have a second count here. The referee checking. This is done for safety, and we'll stop it quicker in a youth fight than they will in professional boxing. But they will stop it too in professional boxing. And again, a lot of punches by Blancas being unloaded then. Some land, some don't. And your 10-point scoring, you only score the ones that do land. And now we're going to separate the fighters, and we'll have one more check. And again, I'm impressed with the safety that the officials handle these bouts with. And I think this one has been stopped. Both fighters will go and do the sportsmanship, which is good, and it's true sportsmanship. Even though they want to win and they embrace, they'll go back to their corners, take the headgears off. The trophies are brought over for the referee to award after the official announcement. But it looks like that although Blancas has won this fight, and he had several flurries of striking punches. And of course, if we trace the history of boxing, it is an old sport. And we're here in Jackson, Tennessee, awaiting the official announcement. Okay, this bout stopped, and of course, the winner officially now, Aldo Blancas, Now Cameron Reeves will get a plaque. Both fighters, as we tell you, they always exit to the red corner. That's where the medical personnel are, and they'll get checked in a safety measure. And we are just about ready for a junior division fight. This will be number 8 on the night in this ring. Sarai Brownell will be going against Melanie Frias. Sarai Brownell is 113 pounds, 16 years old, and Melanie Frias, 15 years old, 111.6 pounds. These will be 2-minute rounds. 2-minute rounds. These are young ladies, and like I said, young ladies have come into boxing and done quite well. Matter of fact, there was a bout on TV not long ago that was excellently fought by both fighters. You watch their skills, and young ladies haven't been being trained quite as long as young men have, and we're given equal opportunity here in America. So again, out of the red corner, Sarai Brownell in the red, Melanie Frias in the blue. The referee will bring them out. He'll give instructions after the official introduction. And sometimes I get ahead of myself. You don't come out until you've been introduced officially. Frias in the blue, Brownell in the red, and we are ready for a ladies division fight here. Frias, a left-hander, Brownell, a right-hander, sizing each other up. A couple of jabs there by Frias. And sometimes when you see the left-handed fighter, you have to size them up. And actually, I now see that with good footwork, both fighters are fighting left-handed. And you see more right-handed fighters than you do left. And both of them capable of throwing that big punch with their left hands. It was a little combination effort by Brownell, and we tied up. The referee separates them, says, let's go at it again, ladies. A couple of quick punches by Frias. There's one, I don't think it got through, by Brownell. And these young ladies, they throw as many punches as the young men do. Again, sizing each other up. There's a jab. And we took the long swing, bringing it big left by Frias. Don't think it made connection. Now there's a jab that got through. And again, now Brownell throwing the big, long left-handed punch. A couple of punches got through. We also got to remember and to see the coaches, both sides, tell them, keep your gloves up. Don't drop the hands. And I do understand some instructions being given in Spanish to my left, and I don't speak a great amount, but enough to understand. And that's the end of round one, and what a great round by the young ladies. Stool comes out for the blue corner, and that is Melanie Frias. Sarai Brownell has chosen to stand up. I've noticed, and we've got a great stool on the red side, but we've had more stand up on the red side tonight in bouts than we do on the blue side. And some are coached. There are boxers that never come down. As you always see, the official comes to the neutral corner. And again, I will say that has been good officiating in all the matches. And like I said, if I had Gary mic'd, he'd tell you if it was bad, I would probably say something about it, but it is not. Worthy Road Studios brings you weddings, funerals. They do church services. They can do just about anything that you want. Sporting events are their specialty. Boy, look at the punches being thrown by both Brownell and Frias. And there was a real good flurry, a couple of jabs there that landed by both fighters. There's one that got through, and then they want to throw the left. And sometimes left-handed throwers is, they call it throwing a punch. Rocky Balboa, they used to talk about him being left-handed and throwing the big punch. They talked to him about getting in the clinch and the separation there. And again, check the footwork out. Don't just watch the gloves. Of course, the red gloves are on Brownell, the blue gloves on Frias. That's how you tell them apart, plus their outfits are also matched to the color of the corner they're coming out of. Again, we lock up with a clinch. Referee will going to check the fighter in red, which is Brownell, because I believe a punch got through that sometimes you want to make sure the young people are all right. There's a flurry, and now they lock up again. Jab that did get through. And we got another clinch. They'll separate them. And I thought a good combo right there by Frias. Brownell wants to keep those feet moving, get those hands up a little bit. And the referee with a little instruction to Brownell. And I'm not trying to score the fight, so I won't give you judgment on who's ahead. Again, a 10-point must system in each round. They will total those unless a bout is stopped or we have a knockout. Have not had any knockouts, but we have some bouts stopped. There's the end of the round. And round two over, and again, I see one coach, he's still young enough, he can get in that ring very quickly. And again, a lot of good coaching going on, and these coaches care about their athlete. As you can see, the official gathers the scorecards, then takes them over, and those young ladies at the table across from us, Gary, we're both in debt to them for helping us with names and stuff. If you want to come on down, we got a great concession stand too. Oh, I wanted some of that pizza they had in there a while ago. We are in bout 8. We've got 18 in this ring. We will wait for the start of this round. And you heard the round start. Young lady's right in the center of it, going after it. And there's a couple of jabs. Now, like I said, these are two left-handed fighters, and they want to jab and then come with a combo and throw the big left. And you probably can pick up some of the instruction over my mic. Not from me, but from the coaches sometimes. Good crowd on hand here at Oman Arena. The punch you saw got through. And again, that's Sarai Brownell in the red, Melanie Frias in the blue. And a couple of punches by both fighters are blocked by Brownell. Having quick hands, but also there's one that may have scored. And again, the clinch, but they break on their own this time. Sometimes when you just dance like that, you're trying to figure out how to get through the defense of the other person. You must stay focused and on guard in boxing. Frias in the blue, Brownell in the red. And while they lock up, we'll tell you that these bouts will be archived and put on Worthy Road Studios YouTube page, and you'll be able to watch them. And when these fighters get 30 or 40 years old at the end of the round, when they get that old, guess what? They can still go back and watch them. And someday they will be thanking Gary Lockhart. That's the end of round 3. You see the fighters going around and showing sportsmanship and appreciation. Gloves will come off, and then they'll come to the center of the ring. But first, the scores must be received, then tallied and double-checked, and we will make the announcement. I see Lamont Ingram strolling over to make an announcement of a winner. And they'll bring the fighters out to the center. The belt is over here awaiting them. And if you can see in our picture across from us, the ladies are tallying everything and waiting for the official scores and a little bit of conversation. So we'll see what happens with the tally. They bring the belt and the plaque out. Nobody goes home empty-handed. And we're waiting. Here's the winner. Okay, they say the winner out of the red corner is Sarai Brownell. And Melanie Frias will receive the plaque. 2 great fighters, 2 great young ladies putting on a very good exhibition. And again, the exit over to the medical area. And that brings us to another junior division fight, number 9 on the night. Alan Morales out of the red corner. He weighs 104 or 18 pounds, actually, 0.4. 17 years old. Nicholas Walsh out of the blue corner, who is 16 years old and weighs 116 pounds. This will be a 2-minute round. There will be 3 2-minute rounds, 10-point must scoring system. And the reason I keep reminding people is I've got a friend watching. He said, Coach, you tell them that every time, but we have a new audience sometimes for watch their fighter and we lose some audience, we gain some audience. I would suggest that you stay with it the whole time because a lot of good bouts. We have 18 bouts in ring 2 over here. And we are at number 9, so we're halfway through. It's a fun night at Oman Arena in Jackson, Tennessee. You can come down I-40 to get here, down 45 north and south. We also have other roads like 412, Highway 20, Highway 70, Jackson, Tennessee, the hub city of West Tennessee. And this is the Hub City Fight Night, brought to you on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page, sanctioned by USA Boxing. Instructions being given to the 2 young fighters. Morales in the red, Walsh in the blue. And we're ready to box. Quick hands, both fighters sizing each other up. They'll throw jabs. Good technique by both so far. We've seen good technique, good defense, although one punch may have gotten through then. You'll see a lot of jabs trying to set up the fight. Alan Morales wearing the red and Nicholas Walsh the blue. And if they ever wear something other than the color of their corner, always tell by the gloves in amateur boxing. Now a quick flurry. There's a jab. I don't know if it's scored. And again, I don't score. The judges would, and even if I did, it would be an unofficial scorecard. Amateur boxing at its best right here at Oman Arena. Morales and Walsh going after it with each other. Morales in the red, Walsh in the blue. There, they tell him to go on. I think that was the other ring, or somebody had a noise. That's not the end of the first round. And there is the official end of the first round. And again, in bout number 9, Alan Morales wearing the red, Nicholas Walsh in the blue. Both of them approximately the same weight. Morales weighs 118, 116 for Walsh. Sometime if you know a little bit about scoring, try at home even when you're watching on streaming or on TV to score these fights. Now, you won't always agree with the judges. I think they've probably got the best seat in the house, even though the pictures from Worthy Road Studios. You won't beat them anywhere, especially on streaming. And again, hats off to the officials tonight. They have done a super job. They have also protected these young folks. 9 more bouts to come in this ring, and things are moving, seem like about the same over in ring 1. The referee is holding things up for just a second. Now he's ready. Here's the bell. Round 2 going. Morales and Walsh. Morales again will remind you in the red, Walsh in the blue. Again, looking for that opening, both fighters. That one may have gotten through for scoring. There's a little series that may have scored some punches. And again, the officials well trained in judging amateur fights. And totally, I won't say totally different. Fundamentals are the same, but amateur boxing is about fundamentals, doing it right, and safety. I've always enjoyed amateur boxing, actually over professional. There's one that gets through. And, you know, we like the big heavyweights that throw the big punches in professional boxing, but nothing like good amateur boxing. And future Olympians may be here. These 2 young men putting on a good show. Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins have worked hard to bring this off. And, of course, Lamont was a great amateur fighter in his own right. Morales and Walsh still going at each other, but both of them have used good discipline. Both getting some jabs and things through, and then some combinations or a flurry of punches. And now tying up, and they'll separate. Official says that's the end of round 2, and we'll take a timeout here and come back for round 3. We're a little bit away from round 3 as you see both fighters on their stools getting water instructions. And I got a text. My cell phone's also got some of my notes in it. And I got a text from a friend that says, "Why aren't you scoring the fight?" I have not scored a fight in so long it would be unfair to judge that way. And you know what? If I scored it, Gary, it wouldn't matter anyway. Only the officials scoring that are sitting around the ring. We're ready for round 3. Good fight. And this is number 9 boxing match on the night. Alan Morales in red, Nicholas Walsh in the blue. We saw a little miss, and then that led to a flurry of punches by both fighters. Action picking up. Now they'll get into the clinch again. The referee will go in and separate them. A little bit of warning this time. And good officiating, preventative officiating. Fighters looking for those openings. You get a jab in when you can. But you'd love to throw the big right, as both of these young men are right-handed. Morales with a little more aggression in that exchange. Walsh trying to defend. Walsh in the corner, wants to get away from the ropes and out into the ring. Morales wants to keep him there. Now Morales landing a series and got Walsh in the blue pinned up here in the corner and scores some punches. And the official steps in. And this bout is over. And the scoring will be picked up. And we'll await the winner of this one. Get a good shot there, Gary, panning the crowd for you. Getting both boxers, seeing the crowd. And with the scoring still being picked up, they'll tally it, double check it, and then we will award a winner here. Excellent bout by the two young men, Alan Morales in the red and Nicholas Walsh out of the blue corner. We are only halfway through. That is the 9th bout of the night in this ring. Both sides cheering for their people. And let's see what they say. Out of the red corner at 118 pounds, the winner is Alan Morales in bout 9. Nicholas Walsh out of the blue will receive the other plaque, and the fighters exit to get checked medically. And we'll have in a few moments bout number 10 in the junior division. Vincent Tarvin will be going against Sergio Badivicio. And we'll take a timeout and let you watch the folks and see when the fighters step in. The referee will stay in the ring. We'll take a little timeout right here. You're watching Worthy Road Studios Facebook page with the Hub City Fight Night. Worthy Road Studios.
Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
And we are back for the 10th bout of the night. Vincent Tarvin coming in the red corner at 122 pounds. He's 15 years old. And out of the blue corner, Sergio Badivicio. And he is at 125 pounds, and is 16 years old. So a pretty evenly matched fight. One fighter a little older than the other, but not much. And we don't have, all we got is age, not exact birth dates. So we don't know how many months or so older. Again, we're ready for the 10th fight in the junior division. Referee giving instructions after the 9th fight. Each referee does 3 bouts. We're on a 10-point scoring system, 2-minute rounds, 3 of them with the older fighters. We saw a lot of 1-minute fights earlier, and I know in ring 1 they had one fight that's timing was 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're ready for action here. Tarvin's in the red. The Badivicio is in the blue. You can also try to score at home. Now, we don't know what the exact scorecards say. We're not scoring here. We're letting you enjoy it. You come to your own conclusions. Obviously, the jab, a big weapon. Coaches, you don't always hear them, but I can hear them say, keep the gloves up for good defense. A lot of jabs, a few uppercuts. Then you're always looking to throw the big punch. Both of these young men right-handed as far as their strong hand. A lot of left-handed jabs coming. And there's a couple that get through by both fighters. Some that miss also. And don't get mistaken, that was the bell from the other ring as they started. We're still got action. Again, Tarvin is in the red gloves, and again, you don't have to worry about the color of the boxing attire they're wearing. You worry about the gloves, and that's Tarvin in the red. Badivicio is in the blue. We're in the first round of a 3-round, 2-minute fight, and that is the bell for this ring. You see the fighters go to their corner. Both of these young men, they're not using the stools. They're standing up to get their water, their instructions. Again, a junior division fight. We'll get into some older fighters in the 12th fight. This one, of course, is the 10th one of the night in ring 2. Worthy Road Studios Facebook page and streaming, bringing you the Hub City Fight Night. Ring 1 is on the BallGame Blitz with Worthy Road Studios. They have their own Facebook site on the BallGame Blitz. Here we go with round 2. Badivicio in the blue. Tarvin in the red. And you can see that Badivicio backed into the corner but gets out of there. And they do want to check him, or at least they separated him, make him start again. You score and see who you think land more punches. Of course, only the officials' ballots. We've got them all the way around the ring scoring this fight. You see several quick flurries, then the boxers back off, size the other one up, each trying to gain the advantage here. Vincent Tarvin in the red, Sergio Badivicio in the blue, and a little flurry there. And the official stops it, sends them back to the corner for the end of round 2. Instruction so important. It's kind of like being an offensive or defensive coordinator in football. The coach can tell them what they see from the outside, because while you're fighting, you've got to think quick. You've got to be a couple of steps ahead, and you're trying to dodge or block punches from your opponent, and you get a little strategy from your coach at these timeouts. Got the third round coming up. We appreciate all the people that are working here. A lot of volunteers helping to put this on. Also, some of the great sponsors. You just saw about a couple of them a minute ago. Here's the third round beginning. And remind you that Tarvin is in the red, and the blue gloves belong to Sergio Badivicio. That one may have landed. I didn't get a good look at it. There's a couple of punches inside by Tarvin. Looked like Badivicio got off a couple that scored. And these two young men have put on a good exhibition of boxing. And again, Badivicio in the corner. Tarvin got him back there. He gets out of it. And you want to cover up when you get back there and then try to get your way out of there. And again, these officials are scoring on a 10-point must. We're in the third round. That time they're standing toe-to-toe in these last 15 to 20 seconds. Important round, the third one. If you're behind, you've got to score a few more. And that is the end of the third round, and we'll wait for the official to pick up the scoring and for it to be tallied. The gloves will come off, and we'll get ready for the awards and remind people we apologize if we mispronounce, but some bouts were added, and there's great sheets, but trying to accommodate and get all of the young people and their bouts in, and you have to go through registration, weigh in, all of those things, the safety measures and precautions. But sometimes when you get late additions, you hope that you don't mess anybody's name up. We apologize if we do. You're listening to Worthy Road Studios. You're also watching it. You can tell that I have a radio background, but you get to watch these excellent pictures by my producer, director, and all-around good guy, Gary Lockhart. And we are awaiting the announcement by Lamont Ingram of the winner. And Sergio Badivicio is the winner out of the blue corner over Vincent Tarvin. And we will take a timeout. Gary, let's take a timeout and hear from some of the good folks that are bringing you these matches.
Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
And we are back getting ready for the 11th fight of the night, and it slows down a little bit when you get to the older group box. Those youngsters came on like gangbusters, and those fights moved in. Hopefully you enjoyed, and you can see some of the great work that Gary and Paul have done. And we've got a good crew of camera people, producer, directors. We have replay at some of our football games that we do in Worthy Road Studios, helping bring you the Hub City Fight Night. Ring 2 here is being streamed on to Worthy Road Studios Facebook. Ring 1, where Steve Beverly and Paul are, is being streamed onto the BallGame Blitz page. And I see the one and only Paul Schultze headed this way. Gary, I believe we've got time to take another time out and hear from some good people that bring you these boxing matches.
Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live. Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
And welcome back to Hub City Fight Night. Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins heading up this along with a lot of other volunteers. Wish had named some great officiating, some great young people boxing tonight showing their skills. Some awards being given out. We're operating 2 rings at the same time. You box for 3 rounds. The early young people's bouts were 1-minute rounds. These, and matter of fact, the rest of the night, they will be 2-minute rounds. And, of course, the oldest fighters here tonight, we got a 33 and a 27-year-old. Of course, amateur boxing doesn't stop just because you turn 21 or 25 or anything like that. Coach Joe Holloway here, along with my compadre and good friend and my producer from Jackson Christian football, basketball, baseball. No, we don't play ice hockey, but Gary would produce that if we had it. Gary Lockhart is here with me. Kind of missed part of the rest of our crew, Gary, but you and I having a good time here tonight. And like I said, if you ever see Gary out on the street, he will always be dapperly attired, a handsome young man, and he's a good guy to talk to. You can learn a lot, especially about technology from him. And without him, these bouts, they might be fighting, but you wouldn't be watching them right now. You still got time to call and tell some folks that, hey, there is streaming of great amateur boxing from Oman Arena in Jackson, Tennessee, home of the Hub City Fight Night tonight. And you can get a lot done. Of course, some of the things that happen here are from the hard work of a man called Rayford Collins, who once headed up the Jackson Boxing Club and was the Beard brothers and Donald Bowers coaches as they went on not only through amateur athletics, but Bowers and Jackie Beard both fought professionally for a while. And a guy that was going through the amateur program here. You might know his name. His name is Edward Lee Too Tall Jones, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys. Actually took a year off, and he was once in the amateur boxing program here in Jackson. And he was 6-0 in his professional career, but went back to be an all-pro defensive end with the Cowboys. And I see that Lamont is giving out an award, and I did not get that on my sheet, but a well-run event tonight. You should be at Oman Arena. You still got time to come down here and see some more bouts as we are awaiting the 11th bout of the night for Ring 2. Got the concession stands going. And I see a bunch of plaques coming out. And I really think Gary Lockhart deserves a plaque. All the hard work he does and stuff, and we love him to death. I want to say hi to my wife. I know that she is watching. And I just got informed that our good friend Moose Henry up in Kingsport, Tennessee, is supposedly watching. Now, Moose, I hope you're watching Ring 2, because that's where Gary and I are. Ring 1 has some great action, but like I said, you've got time to call people and get them. Paul Schultze, call him if you need Worthy Road Studios. And I think that there was in one of the ads some great examples of what Worthy Road can do for you. And like I said, they do church services, weddings, funerals. There's all kinds of things. They can do meetings. I know that Paul has streamed some meetings when politicians have come in here. But athletics, of course, always done excellent. Freed Hardeman, Union University. You've got local high school. Matter of fact, Paul does the camera work, or at least his crew does, for the Peabody Golden Tide, which is the 3-time state champion. That's 3 times in a row. And, of course, he does Jackson Christian, who made the playoffs again this year with an 8-2 record. And Trinity Christian Academy, where you can not only watch them but hear the great Diamond Dave McCulley do play-by-play, who is also a legendary announcer. He, along with Tom Brett and I, did 20 years of NAIA basketball right in this very gymnasium. Dave is calling the Lindsey Wilson Bethel game today. And Gary, Lindsey Wilson, the #1 NAIA team in the nation, is playing Bethel today. But we've got also excellent producers. Summer is not with us today, but Gary is. And Gary and I, like I said, I enjoy his work. I'd be lost if he wasn't there. Paul is with Steve Beverly, local TV legend and Professor Emeritus of Communications from Union University. Also does a little local news and TV work. You need to see Steve Beverly's classics on JEA. And we are waiting again to have a timeout for awards, but we will have in our ring 8 more bouts tonight. You still got time to get down here. It's just 6:35. And I don't know. I'll tell you what we will do, Gary. Let's take another one of those timeouts. And when we come back, I bet we'll be close to action for boxing at Oman Arena.
Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
We are back, and you're seeing a few more awards and some of the officials from other boxing clubs earning awards, and everybody has pitched in. I know that part of the Kentucky contingent was here early, not only to bring their fighters, but they had from the Boxing Association up there. And again, these fights are USA boxing sanctioned, leading to Olympics. And we've had Olympic performers here before, not just Jacksonians, but others. Remind people that George Foreman, the great Olympian, who really brought a lump to everybody's throat, is after he won his gold medal, took those small flags out with his gloves on and walked all the way around the ring. A very, very patriotic sight. Of course, George Foreman, you know him for his grills and stuff too. But he's an eloquent speaker. He is a preacher. And he will be here in town in Jackson and always promoting boxing. But Lamont Ingram, who was a student and pupil and athlete for Rayford Collins, has carried on Rayford's good work. Lamont has what's called Team Ingram. And matter of fact, Team Ingram's Rayford Collins Jackson Boxing Club was created by Lamont back in 2017. And the program exists to provide structure, guidance, and mentoring to the youth in the program. Youth are taught discipline, respect, sportsmanship, and above all, character and integrity among the young men and women that are part of the program. Lamont is the head coach of Team Ingram, but he also began boxing himself at the age of 14 years old back in 1995. And I don't think he will mind me telling these things because he was also a student in a school that I taught at. And Lamont, mom had a lot to do with him getting into boxing because he was getting jumped on and bullied in school and sometimes got off the straight and narrow path because of the bullies and the people like that. And he developed a little anger and didn't respect authority. Well, his amateur boxing coach, Rayford Collins, the late Rayford Collins, who was an awesome man and father figure to Lamont and many other, like the Beards, the Bowers, and there were other young men that came through the program. Did a great job. He showed Coach Ingram how to be respectful and to never give up no matter how hard it was. And, of course, Lamont's mom sacrificed her time to make sure he could get to the gym even after she had worked as many as 10 hours in a day at Bruce Hardwood here in Jackson. That's not an easy job. His amateur record and career ended in 2004, but he has gone into coaching and helping young people. 58 wins, 10 losses, 35 of those 58 wins were by knockout. Now, you're talking about a young man that could throw a good punch and also had good defense, and that was Lamont Ingram. And he fought some of the best. He made history, won many awards, trophies, and medals. He was managed as he went on by Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Joel McAlexander, and was trained by Roger Mayweather. And I want to say that Jesse Reed also helped in his training. So his hard work, and he's returning to the youth, and you can see more hardware being awarded to youthful boxers and athletes. We are here at Oman Arena, historic Oman Arena, opened back in the late 1960s. The girls' state tournament for Tennessee was played here. Matter of fact, Jackson, Tennessee at Oman Arena probably saved the girls' state tournament from going out of existence. It was dying in the early 60s in Murfreesboro, was not being attended very well. They brought it down here. Sally Smith, and look her up if you want to learn something about basketball history. She saved the tournament. There were 6,000 fans in a 5,000-seat arena the night that she put on an exhibition and won the state title for her team. Waverly, and that's when we only had one classification, Gary. Everybody from the smallest to the biggest school in the state played in that. The NAIA Women's National Division I tournament was again rescued by Jackson, Tennessee, when nobody wanted it. Kansas City was looking to get rid of it, and they brought it here and spent 20 glorious years here. And people like Steve Beverly, Tom Britt, Dave McCulley, Coach Joe Holloway got to call games here all the way through, and this is a historic arena named for Terry Oman, one of the greatest coaches in the history of Jackson. But it's boxing tonight, and this arena may be even known better for its Golden Gloves boxing. At one time hosted the West Tennessee Golden Gloves and then the entire Mid-South. Not in Memphis, but right here in Jackson, Tennessee was held here. Rayford Collins had a lot to do with it. The Jackson Exchange Club was one of the sponsors. The Parks and Recreation Department was heading up the boxing as far as the facilities and things like that. Rayford not only was an employee of the Jackson Sun, but worked for the recreation department in his spare time with the boxing program, and clubs like the Jackson Old Hickory Rotary Club helping out with things tonight. And boxing has a great history here, and we are welcoming all our fans that are listening on Worthy Road Studios Facebook. But we also want you to come and visit Jackson, Tennessee. Not only bring the boxing clubs and enjoy like this Hub City Fight Night, and enjoy people like Lamont Ingram of Team Ingram and the Rayford Collins Jackson Boxing Club, but come and see the things. This is also home to the late Carl Perkins in blue suede shoes. And even though he lives north of us in another fine city, we claim Gary Lockhart as a citizen of Jackson besides him being in Trenton. But we love him, and he's a great job. Paul Schultze has moved to Jackson, Tennessee. And, of course, for years, Steve Beverly was a fixture and the head of the news department at BBJ, and then was head and chair of the communications department of Union University, turning out many fine broadcasters. He's doing the color commentary at the other ring. I see him talking to Paul, and Paul bobbing his head from time to time. Paul doesn't have a headset on because he's producing, directing, making cameras go in the right direction, and he and Gary are two of the most talented people around. We will have more boxing in just a few moments. Like I said, in this ring, we've got 8 more bouts to go. 10 have been finished, and maybe I should go over and talk about some of those that have been finished. We've had winners now in 10 bouts. And Gary looking over, I see that some of the older guys, and we will, in these bouts here, we will have people from 15 years of age all the way to our last 2 bouts are, we've got 1 boxer in the 30s and 3 that'll be in their 20s. So exciting time to come. And we're looking forward to it here on Worthy Road Studios. Let's take a timeout, and when we come back, we may be closer to action. Let's take that timeout from the Hub City Fight Night.
Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
And we are back here at Oman Arena getting ready for bout number 11. And in the previous fight, in bout 10, Sergio Badivicio won that one over Vincent Tarvin. Seth Duran scheduled to come out of the red corner. We'll tell you more about him in just a moment. Elijah Lugo coming out of the blue corner. Seth Duran is a 15-year-old, weighs 157 pounds. Elijah Lugo out of the blue corner, 15 years old, weighs 165 pounds. This will be a 2-minute round. It's 3 rounds of 2 minutes, 10-point must-scoring schedule. And we are just about ready for action. Referee up in the ring. Great pictures here by Gary Lockhart in Worthy Road Studios. You see they're waiting for one more judge. And we're looking around, getting ready to make the announcement, and it may be the judge that's also having to make the announcement right now, because we do have 2 rings going at one time. And we have judges from every angle here at the ring. Great job by Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins, plus all of the great volunteers. We've got a great medical staff here. They've taken care of several youngsters tonight. And here come the introductions, and now the other judge has come back down here. And again, in the red corner, Seth Duran, 157 as far as pounds, 15 years old. And in the blue corner, Elijah Lugo. He's 15 years old, weighs 165 pounds. Getting the instructions from the official. And a 3-round bout, as we told you, coming up here. Waiting for the bell to start this fight. And there it is. Lugo with a slight weight advantage. Both fighters kind of checking each other out, and there's a flurry of punches thrown by both. Remember, in scoring, the punches do have to land. Sometimes it's fun to try to score the fight or see who you think is winning at home. Great opportunity to see these young people at work. Lugo again in the blue, Duran in the red. And if you can't tell, like Duran has a black shirt on, but always check the gloves out. The gloves tell you which fighter it is and which corner that they go to. And sometimes in the background you can hear their coaches coaching them. And, hey, it's a lot of excitement here. The fighters excited. The coaches love their young people and want them to do well. Note I said well. They'd like them to win, but they don't. They teach them the things we talked about earlier. There's a couple of punches landed. Duran wants to get out of the corner, and he gets into a clinch. Both fighters look very determined here in this match. And of course, the correct term is to call them boxers. Sometimes the word fighter gives a wrong interpretation. These are skilled young men that box. The young ladies were very skillful earlier tonight too. Enjoyed the ladies match we had. 2-minute rounds there. Lugo got a series, but Duran ties him up. And the referee will break it there at the bell. So that is the end of round 1 of this 3-round fight, 2-minute rounds. And again, you can see the difference in the way they handle it. one fighter standing up in the blue corner, Lugo. Duran uses the stool. They both get coaching, water. And sometimes some fighters prefer to stand up. I know that they feel like they can stay loose. Lugo has already broken out. Still a few seconds left in the between rounds time. And a lot of coaching on both sides has gone on. The stool and the bucket has been pulled out. The water from both sides are back on the corners. And we are waiting the referee to tell the young men to go. And here it starts the second round. Lugo comes out strong. Duran dancing, looking, and has some defense. He gets a couple of jabs. Were they glancing blows or did they get through? They tie up, sometimes called a clinch. Separating, there's one punch. There was a short jab that didn't get through. As you can see, both fighters right now, Lugo throwing the punches. Now Duran comes, gets a couple off, so does Lugo. Lugo's in the blue, Duran in the red. You can hear each side telling their fighter to keep it up. Of course, you see the big white bands on the trunks have a purpose. Helps with the officiating. There's a punch that Lugo got through into the stomach area. And one corner thinks that may have done some damage to the red corner in Duran. We'll see. Duran still looks pretty strong right now. Now there's a punch that did get through again, and now Duran comes with a little bit of an uppercut. Did Lugo get it totally blocked or only partially blocked? Again, a good exchange. Again, they tie up or go into a clinch, whichever term you prefer. Referee trying to get the best angle to stay on top of this boxing match. That time a right cross got through. That ends this round. Both sides will go and to the corner. The end of round two comes, and the payoff round, round three coming up. We can see ice pack being applied to the back of Seth Duran. And Elijah Lugo getting his water and coaching from both of his coaches. Catching his breath. Both young men worked hard, and a lot of oxygen was used up in that round. Again, the 11th bout of the night in ring two, going amongst two in the junior division. Seth Duran, Elijah Lugo. Both of them 15 years old, and they are ready for round three. Both come out fast this time to try to exchange some punches, score some points. Now we've got, again, a tie-up. And that one got through in the mouthpiece, and that's the reason you wear the mouthpiece by Lugo. A couple of his jabs did get through on Duran. A little feint in coming back with a left, I call it not a real true roundhouse, but both fighters trying to set the other one up to get their haymaker through there. Lugo with the one pretty good punch. Duran comes back with a couple of good punches, and then they tie up again temporarily, separate. And these are two strong young men, too, and you can tell that. They not only train, but you can tell they've done some weightlifting and a lot of stretching exercises not to get too tight. Good job by both. Tie up in the middle of the ring. And again, sometimes I wished I could almost listen, and you can hear in the background sometimes the coaches with their instructions. And again, they tie up in the center of the ring, but let's see if they can push off and get away from each other. Lugo gets a quick punch out of the break, which is a good thing. One breadbasket punch did land a minute ago. And that is the end of the third round. The fighters will go by and acknowledge all the judges and the opposite corners. A well-fought fight by two young men, Seth Duran and Elijah Lugo, in the junior division. And we will await the winner of this bout. The belt and the plaque have arrived. They'll pick up the scorecards. And we are waiting the decision as they check the numbers and then recheck the numbers. Elijah Lugo from the blue corner you heard as the winner then. And I know he's a happy young man, but Seth Duran gets the plaque and came through. As we told you in the first 10 bouts, you always have to go and be checked by the medical people after. And I've seen nothing but good bouts, good boxing, sportsmanship, and good officiating by all who have officiated. Now we come and we are ready for the 12th bout of the night. Jihad will be fighting in this one out of the red corner against Christian Santizo out of the blue corner. Both of these young men are 17 years old. The weight advantage at 151.6 pounds goes to Christian Santizo. Jihad weighs 148. And these two young men, had heard some people, they are supposed to be accomplished fighters. Now, again, wearing red gloves because of the outfits they'd have. You'll have to watch the gloves. The red gloves belong to Jihad. The blue gloves belong to Santizo. They get last-minute instructions from their coaches. We are waiting the signal, and here come the official introductions. And we'll see they're checking over there. And the two fighters come out for instructions. Santizo coming out of that blue corner, and you always wait for the introduction. Now the officials will give some short, quick instructions. These fighters are well schooled. Amateur boxing rules consistent all over the United States, especially if you're with the U.S. Boxing Association. Fight starting quickly in the far side neutral corner. Remember, Jihad has the red gloves and Santizo has the blue gloves. Right now, missing on those last ones, but scoring a couple, and the official will give a little instruction about how to properly handle yourself and not break the rules. And both fighters have landed some punches. See that Jihad has a really quick left jab. Santizo right now taking the aggression and backing Jihad up. Blocking some high punches. And that will, I don't think that ended the round. I think that was the other ring. And it was. We'll finish this round. Remember, it's a 2-minute round, 10-point must scoring system. And up against the ropes. And now a little bit of instruction. Jihad again in the red. We'll keep you informed of that because these two young men are wearing black as far as their trunks and their shirt. And that's the end of the first round. A lot of action in that. I say Jihad using the stool. And Christian Santizo, he chooses to stand up. And again, it's a boxer's choice in which way you feel like you can come back into the round loose and ready to box. Of course, water always provided. You can use the towel and get some instruction. If you got a muscle tightening up, your coaches and trainer will try to loosen those up a little bit. You see the red stool pulled away. And we were just moments away from second round action here in the Hub City Fight Night. Still got fights to come, 18 fights total in this ring. We are at just number 12 of this great boxing exhibition here. And checking with one of the tables at ringside. Very good and professional setup here. Amateur boxing in Jackson, Tennessee has always been a strong suit. Well done. And now I think we are about ready for boxing again. Now they're going to take both fighters and instructed to go to a neutral corner while we check over at the table. Jihad keeping his feet moving and footwork. Santizo moving a little bit, but not staying with the dance or the hop or bounce, whatever you want to call it. Good footwork in the match so far. And let's see what. I believe we've got a ring problem, Gary. And I'll tell you what, these officials and people running this tournament, they're sharp. I didn't even notice there was a ring problem. They spotted it right off the bat. Hats off to the young man officiating in the ring. And he is checking with each table. And I am thoroughly impressed. This is the way it's done right. Getting the officials over to score. And they are going to check one more. Looks like one of the ties has come loose. Velcro wrap strap now fixed. Ring looks like it is ready to go. Maybe going to check one more side out to see what's happening. But we're going to box now here in the second round, going after it. And again, Jihad in the red gloves, Santizo in the blue gloves. Again, some of the punches look impressive, but they get blocked by each blocker or each boxer. When they get through, they can do some damage. There's a tie-up or a clinch. And a couple of jabs. They trying to go for the breadbasket. Then you have Santizo backing Jihad into the corner, and they will break from there. Good instruction by the official. Back to action. You see a couple of jabs by Jihad. Here's a long-reaching right and a flurry of punches coming from Santizo. They're in the corner now, both of them exchanging a flurry of punches. And a good fight now. The referee is about to step in then, but they broke. Again, the leather flying. Big right from Jihad. Santizo, though, with good defense. Now he takes to the offense. Now we're going to stop the bout again for a minute. And good judgment by the official there. And that is the end of the round. And this will bring up the payoff round. Official picks up the scoring from each judge. Then when he gets all of that, he takes it to the table where they will add up this round and see how the fight has been scored so far. Instructions being given now, both fighters using the stools, getting their water and instruction. If you were watching on our cameras, you saw sometimes you pour a little water on the head or even the shoulders. And I hate to use the old cliche about it takes a cool head to win a hot match or game, but there is some truth into that. But that's mainly talking about your thought process and stuff. But sometimes the fighters do need a little cool water, not only in the mouth, but on the head a little bit, because it can get hot here at Oman Arena. And the round action you see has started. There's aggression by Santizo, and he turned away, and the referee's going to stop the fight, probably check Santizo out, and he is. And I think good judgment by the official. Santizo looks okay, and they're ready to go. Both men have been impressive at times. Both have resorted to good defense, and both have landed a couple of punches, as you just saw. They also have shown some good defense. And this will be a standing count. One boxer being checked in the corner closest to us. They're ready to fight again. See the punches, but the most of them were blocked. There gets one through to the stomach area. Both young men going after it. And landing a couple is Jihad. Santizo, though, blocked a couple and did land a punch or two of his own. Be an interesting fight to score. Coaches instructing as hard as the boxers are boxing. The coaches just don't get hit, though. Enjoying, hopefully, the streaming and fights on Worthy Road Studios Facebook from Oman Arena, Hub City Fight Night. And we get into a tie-up or a clinch. They bring the boxers back out. little uppercut, now a right coming across. A couple of jabs set up. Now Santizo wants to come back, and that will end the fight there. The third round is over. The scorecards to be collected, tallied, double-checked, and we will have a winner here in just a few moments. Great job by Isaiah Jihad and Christian Santizo, both of them 17-year-olds. Good job by the officials. I've seen nothing but well-officiated matches tonight. The belt is brought over and handed in. It's always placed down in the center of the ring before awarding. You can also see the plaque. You really need to appreciate all the athletes, all the people that put this together. And good young man, they're coming by to see Gary and I, and we try to accommodate them with. Again, Isaiah Jihad and Christian Santizo, a good fight by those two gentlemen. Great sportsmanship by all the young men in this match. And Isaiah Jihad has won this 12th bout here in the YH division. 2 17-year-olds fighting, and we've had Badivicio, Lugo, and now Jihad as winners in the second round of fighting after the break. In the 13th match of the night, Joshua Richardson will come out of the red corner, and Julius Fleming will come out of the blue corner. When they get up in there, we'll tell you more about these two fighters, and we can see the headgears being put on them. And we are starting to get into some older fighters now, Gary. Weight difference or weight will go up, and also the ages will start to go up even more. These are young men that will fight amateur, and then hopefully one day for them, they hope that they'll have enough success that they could go into pro boxing. And again, we talk about it, but Jackie Beard and Donald Bowers from right here in Jackson that fought with the Jackson Boxing Club a long time ago, both went to the Olympic trials. Jackie actually made the team. I believe Donald was an alternate, and then they wound up with pro boxing careers. Both are in the Jackson-Madison County Hall of Fame, as Rayford Collins, who this boxing club is named for, but Lamont Ingram has taken his old mentor Rayford's teachings, and he has formed Team Ingram. And we are waiting, and let's see, Joshua Richardson will be in the red corner, Julius Fleming in the blue corner. Richardson comes in at 180 pounds. Julius Fleming at 172. Richardson is 18 years old according to the sheet I have, and Fleming is 25. Now again, we had to have our sheets updated at the last minute because some bouts were added, and there were also a few substitutions. Again, we apologize if we have mispronounced the name. The ladies at the table tried to help us as much as they could, but with late folks coming in or late assignment of matches on some, we couldn't get a couple of things checked. And you see them introduce Joshua Richardson out of the red corner. And again, check the gloves out. Now wearing blue and with the blue gloves coming out is Julius Fleming. Referee giving instruction. Of course, this is the 13th bout, and as you've seen, after every 3 bouts, the official changes. And we are just about ready for round 1. The referee will check both sides. He'll check the tables. And the bell has rung, and we're boxing. And right now, a lot of punches being thrown, and the aggressor is Joshua Richardson. Julius Fleming looking to set some things up. Now, Fleming is a little taller, might have a little bit of reach, and now the official steps in. We didn't see what he said, but and you can see these are strong young men. Both of them want to throw that left hand. That's their strong hand. Fleming tried to combo them, but it got blocked by Richardson. Richardson got a jab through, and then a left may have gotten through. It may have been a glancing blow. Both very focused young men in that ring. We're in the first round here at Oman Arena of fight number 13, or match number 13. Seeing a lot of well-coached athletes today. And that's the end of round one between Joshua Richardson and Julius Fleming. That one would have been a tough one to have scored. Gary Lockhart, Coach Joe Holloway here on ring 2, Paul Schultze, and Steve Beverly on ring 1. Ring 1, you can see its bouts on the Blitz of Worthy Road Studios Facebook, and we have down here the Worthy Road Studios Facebook. Both young men in this bout using the stools. Both of them look like they have been well coached. Stools are pulled out, the water comes out, the coaches get ready, and the boxers are waiting the signal to box. Here they go. Again, Fleming looks like he's got just a slight edge on the reach, but a couple of great punches thrown by Richardson then. Very disciplined, skilled fight here so far. Richardson with the red gloves on. The blue gloves and all blue go to Fleming. You'll see the jabs. The jabs a lot of time, unless they can sneak through, set up another punch in combination. Combination's very important in boxing. Keeping those hands up on defense, very important also. With the edge and reach, and I think you see Fleming getting a punch through. Richardson has to, since he's got a little less reach, has to kind of get strong and get inside. Now there was a punch that will draw a standing count. And Joshua Richardson receiving the count from the official. I believe he is okay. And the referee agrees and said, let's fight. And with a flurry, Richardson backs him up. They'll tie up. And the referee starts them again. That time Fleming gets a punch through. Good boxing bout here between two skilled young men. Both hoping to make their way up to success in boxing besides the amateur. Here's Fleming with a flurry. And again, coming out of there hard is Richardson. The bell has sounded, and that ends round 2. We'll await round 3. And while we're at, I'm going to look over into ring 1, and we've got some of the younger guys over in ring 1, and they're always exciting to watch. And their round has ended over there, and I think their match, and they'll be totaling up. We've still got round 3 to go in bout 13. 18 big bouts total in ring 2. And a lot of hardware has already been awarded, more to come in both rings. And people having an excellent time watching. And we say hello to all of y'all that are watching on the stream. And here we go, round 3 is ready. Right now, kind of sizing each other up again to start this round. You'll see some jabs, and then you'll see some flurries of punches. And you just saw what I was talking about. Trying to get inside, of course. Like I said, a little bit of reach advantage for Julius Fleming. Only had one standing count in this fight. That time, good footwork by Fleming, but some punches did score by Joshua Richardson. Fleming's coach wanted him to use their 1-2, and the mouthpiece came out. We'll have to stop it and let's see if Fleming should have a fresh mouthpiece, or if will they have to duck it into the cleaner for the mouthpiece, which won't hurt Richardson. And they're just cleaning that one. And sometimes, I know in football, I used to sometimes, Gary, spit my mouthpiece out accidentally. And sometimes when you get hit, you spit them out. Richardson takes the jab. Fleming comes back at him. A little dancing and sizing up. Somebody will throw a flurry here in a minute. Both using their left hand as their strong hand. A lot of right jabs. And Fleming gets a couple of good punches, but you had headgear and hands protecting Richardson. Now Richardson, the aggressor, backing it up. And that is the end of the round. And the gloves will come off. The scorecards will be collected. The fighters, when they are instructed, will come out to the center of the ring and we'll be awarding a winner in this fight. Previous fight was won by Isaiah Jihad. Lugo won the 11th bout. And again, they've got some, I call them the mini brutes, going over in the other ring, some small guys, as we await for the totals. Now they are just about ready to, they check, of course, the taping and everything of the hands. And that's the reason the gloves come off. Here are two excellent young men with their boxing skills. And again, they're checking everything. And the winner of this bout is Julius Fleming out of the blue corner, as they always double check everything and they don't do anything until they're sure the proper winner has been announced. Boxers will now get checked by the medical staff. And we are headed towards the 14th bout of the night. Shemaiah Humphreys will be in the red corner, and Alexis Brown will come out of the blue corner in the 14th bout of the night. We'll tell you more about them when the fighters get into the ring. This will be a young ladies bout. And like I said, the young ladies in both amateur and professional boxing have made great strides over the last few years. And it looks like that Shemaiah Humphreys, is climbing into the red corner. She's 18 years old, 158.8 pounds. Alexis Brown, who will come to the blue corner, is 26 years old and 169.6 pounds. And again, you need to go by the gloves. Now, in Humphrey's case, she will be in red trunks and shirt with the red boxing gloves on. The blue corner, now Brown is wearing a black set of boxing trunks, and so you'll have to watch for the blue gloves. Alexis Brown out of the blue corner. Wished I knew how long these young ladies have boxed. It's 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds, 10-point must scoring system. And I'm going to do a little shoe adjustment, as you can see. And Gary, I think when you get old and stiff and at 70, I'm going to have to stand up in a minute after this bout. Gary Lockhart here doing a great job, as always, for Worthy Road Studios. He is my regular producer, director for basketball, baseball, football. No, we don't do ice hockey, but we'd try it. We're here for Hub City Fight Night Boxing. And again, Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins, along with a host of great volunteers, doing a good job. We're ready just about for the fight between Shemaiah Humphreys and Alexis Brown. Remember, Humphreys in the red, Alexis Brown wearing the blue gloves. She has the black boxing attire. A lot of punches thrown, and Humphrey is really throwing some leather. And she will cause Brown to have a standing 8 count, I believe. And the referee says they can go. And I like this official. He's done a very good job in his other bouts he's officiated. And they officiate in both rings. And again, leather flying in the ladies. And they're trying to get into a neutral corner. And Brown is being checked again with the standing 8. 2 standing 8 counts here in this first round. And Humphreys is very aggressive. She is throwing a ton of leather. Brown trying to defend, wants to get her offense going. Remember, Brown has the blue gloves, Humphreys the red gloves. Humphreys looking for that opener to throw that big right. Brown is a lefty, and there was kind of a hook being thrown. And those were blocked a little better that time, but I tell you what, if one of Humphreys' rights do land when she sends that one, you could have another standing 8 count. A couple got through, and they will rightfully check the boxer, Alexis Brown. And the official has said that we need to stop it at that after the third standing 8 count. They will collect the scorecards. But in bout 14, Shemaiah Humphreys will be the winner after 3 standing 8 counts. Good sportsmanship as you see Brown walk over. And, of course, she's already removed her gloves and headgear. And see the seconds and the coaches, trainers trying to clean up the corner just a little bit over there. Sometimes you spill water and things. The belt has been brought in to be awarded, also the plaque. Everybody leaves with something. And now you see the coaches and trainers trying to get the gloves and the headgear off. They do have to check the wrappings on the hands, and somebody has done a good taping job. And here are the boxers coming out. 2 fine young ladies, a great match. They shake hands, then they will get side by side with the official. And we will wait for the official announcement as you see them turn towards the official table. And out of the red corner, Shemaiah Humphreys wins the belt and the match tonight. And again, as we've told you, Humphreys wins this one. Fleming won the previous one. Jihad before that. Lugo in the 11th bout. And Badivicio won the 11th bout, or 10th bout actually. Some good boxing, more to come. We are waiting the 15th match. Out of the red corner, Alotu, and out of the blue corner, Richard Colbert. And again, folks, if we mispronounce the name, it is purely by accident because we had some bouts added. You know, you got to come and go through weigh-ins, and the officials here try to give us the best bout sheet that they could. These are official USA boxing bout sheets that gets filled in. The event is the Hub City Fight Night here on the 30th of October. And my good friend Moose texted me and said, I must be wearing my Halloween outfit because my face is kind of scary. I don't know what to think about that, Gary. But Moose enjoying the boxing. And this looks like a good match. Alotu in the red corner, Colbert in the blue corner. Alotu, 152 pounds, 22 years old. Richard Colbert is 151.8 pounds and 19 years old. And the official will come out here and bring them out in just a moment when everybody is ready because, again, checking the scoring and recording winners. It's been a great night, and we've still got, this is bout 15. We've still got 16, 17, and 18 to come. And they just introduced out of the red corner Alotu. And now the introduction of Richard Colbert in the blue corner. Both good, strong young men here getting their instructions from the official. And these two young men, I think, are going to give us a good exhibition of boxing. Always early, feeling out. You see if you can slip a jab in or something, then you set up your combinations. And then you'll start to see the flurries. Alotu being backed up a little bit. He got a couple of good swings in. Colbert looking to throw that big right of his. Both men right-handed. A couple of good punches thrown. but they didn't make it kind of contact they wanted to. Good officiating on instruction of how to keep the match going properly. There's a couple that slipped through, a couple of jabs, one cross. Now they'll have a tie-up or a clinch, whichever term you prefer. And you can hear in the background a little of the instruction for the boxers. And again, another one of those flurries, ducking some of the punches. And now let's see if the referees they separate themselves. The referee just kind of politely mentioned something. One jab that got through, and then they tie up again. The Colbert got a jab through, but Alotu has gotten some through too, and now they're up against the ropes tied up. Official separates. It says, let's box, gentlemen. Alotu gets a couple through. Now returning a couple is Colbert, and that's the end of round one. An interesting round there. You are watching on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page. These games or matches will be archived. You'll be able to go back and watch these boxing matches anytime you want to. Go to Worthy Road Studios YouTube and type in the match, and it will be there. Gary and Paul archive games, boxing matches, whatever we do. We even do a coach's show from the Hub City Deli for Jackson Christian School, and it is archived and up in a lot of our football games. Gary and I's team have made the playoffs, Jackson Christian School. We'll be covering that game Friday night. Paul, though, is with the 3-time in a row state champion Peabody team. And that's okay, Gary. Our guys are going to work on catching them. We're back to boxing in the second round. Nice bout so far. See the jabs, not really doing any damage yet, but you flick them out there, try to set something up, check your opponent out. Colbert being a little more aggressive this time. The early aggression went to Alotu. Now he gets Alotu. Colbert gets him up, gets a little flurry, but let's see. Warning for behind the back punch. And you can't do that. Got to keep them all in the front. And again, both men with a flurry of punches and then tying up. This time talking to Alotu is the official. Again, the red gloves on Alotu, the blue gloves on Richard Colbert. That's how you can tell the boxers apart. They come out of the red and blue corners. Of course, you can see ringside on the far side corner. That's considered a neutral corner, just like the corner over here in front of Gary and I. And again, another set of instructions and a small warning. Alotu back up against the ropes, wants to get out of this corner, and Colbert gets a couple in. And both of them now taking some big punches and some swings. Official is instructing again, and maybe a mandatory warning with, I didn't see if he gave a deduction on points. And again, I call it the bull punch throwing effect, and you try to gain an advantage even with your weight. Now here is Colbert coming back and swinging as the round ends. And 2 rounds are down, and we'll be coming back for the third round as you see the official collect the scoring from each ring judge. These young men are in the elite division, and usually your older boxers have reached the elite division. We'll have another bout coming up in the elite division. It may be a ladies match. I'll have to check my sheet. And, of course, I see some of the different teams that are here that had winners getting their pictures made. Stools are pulled out. The official is checking for everybody ready, gives a little instruction, does a good job. This is how you have a good fight. Sometimes I wish some of our football officials would do some preventative officiating. And we're ready for the third round. Richard Colbert with the blue gloves. Aaron Alotu with the red gloves. Both now trying to throw some punches with some authority. They've been swinging and making some contact. They also have swung wildly in this match and missed a little bit. The official has had to give more instruction about what you can and can't do in this match because these young men both want it. They want it very badly. And you could hear that one pop. And again, both of them are very strong, quick young men. Now they got to watch, and when they turn around, that's the official. You saw him warn him about the turning. You want to face up. You want to get in your boxer stance. Use your footwork. Keep the gloves up and defend, but throw those combo punches. I think this young official is doing a very good job of keeping a fight or a match between two boxers, but both want to throw those punches, and he's had to instruct a lot, but he's kept it going. And he's warning about clinching, and again, I didn't get a good look at whether there was any deduction of points. Colbert on the aggression gets tied up by Alotu. Of course, sometimes when you get tied up, there's exchange of short punches, usually not a lot of power because arms are constricted. Reaching and lunging, and then it gives Alotu a chance to get a punch, but being able to drive him back, and now a clinch. Now they've broken it, and you saw the leather flying. Getting exciting here as these two young men go after it. And the ring bell sounds, ending this bout. The young men will take the glove stuff off. You'll also see the sportsmanship coming around, acknowledging all the judges. And sometimes they're even kind enough to acknowledge Gary and I. Waiting for the belts to come over. The scorecards have been received, and they're over tallying up, recording the results. You can see the young ladies over there with the computer. And we will find out in just a matter of moments who the winner of the 15th bout between Aaron Alotu and Richard Colbert, who that is. Now, down in the other ring in ring one, they've got some pretty good size and tall, older young men in that ring. And while we await the results, the fighters turn to our side. And it looks like that Colbert has won this match. And I think they are going off, but they need to go off to the other side. So Richard Colbert, the winner in this one. The previous match was won by Shemaiah Humphreys. And Gary, that is going to bring us to, and it looks like it is, a ladies match. Kenesha Johnson will be in the red corner, and Christine Forkins will be in the blue corner. I have not seen Forkins yet. She'll make her appearance. As that match went a little quick, Forkins now will step up there. In the red corner, Kenesha Johnson, who is age 33, weighs 134.8 pounds. In the blue corner, you've got 27-year-old Christine Forkins, who weighs 143 pounds. These are 3 rounds of 2 minutes. But you know what? I feel funny about giving the weight of ladies because I know how they are about weights and stuff. But in boxing, you must do that. Remind you again, these matches will be archived on Worthy Road Studios YouTube page. And as one of my friends says, they're archived in perpetuity. They're archived forever or until the end of time. Or YouTube goes out of business, I guess. But Paul Schultze and Gary Lockhart doing a great job with Worthy Road Studios. And we've got a lot of other fine people. I tell you what, now for our games, Caleb is a great cameraman. And he had a great idea last night because we had tight quarters. Gary and he set it up, and Wesley and I are the lazy two guys. We get to come in and just talk. We are ready, and there's been no lazy people here tonight for the boxing. All of these young athletes have really performed. We're at the Hub City Fight Night. And again, in the blue corner, Christine Forkins. In the red corner, Kenesha Johnson. Height advantage goes to Forkins out of the blue corner. And again, you won't have any trouble. Kenesha's in all red with, there's a black area of the trunks, but the blue shorts are on Forkins and the blue gloves. And these young ladies, good footwork by both of them. They'll throw the jabs and look. There's a hook attempted, didn't make contact. There's the jab thrown, and then some counter punches. And boy, these two young ladies are going after each other. The leather is being thrown. Forkins up against the ropes. They break. The official says don't get any closer now to Johnson because you could get a headbutting call. And there are a couple of punches landed by both then. But you also have to watch for some of them that's blocked that look like they're going to land. And they'll talk about going around the back. We're in round one of a 3-round, 2-minute each round boxing match. And again, I like the way this official keeps control of a match. There is science and skill to boxing. And the rules in amateur boxing are to allow skill, but also to protect the athletes. There's one that got to the top of the headgear by Forkins. And then Kenesha Johnson wants to counter, but she's missed a couple of counter punches. Forkins may have a little reach on her. Johnson trying to get inside. I know Forkins is the taller of the two. Reach does make a difference. That time Johnson got inside, didn't have a lot of power in that last punch. End of round one, and the young ladies go to their respective corners. Nobody using the stool this time. Both boxers will stand up and get their instruction. And I see a Music City Boxing shirt on the coach of Christine Forkins. I'm not sure which club because the fine coach for Kenesha Johnson doesn't have a logo. Both I can see the coaches, and they're instructing well. I like what they're trying to tell their young fighters. Kenesha Johnson's job in the red is to get inside because Forkins definitely has some reach on her. And they come out, Christine Forkins in the blue. We told you Johnson was in the red. Round two, cranking up right here. And again, a couple of little jabs, nothing that was punishing got through. And there comes the right hook, and there looked like one uppercut may have gotten through, and this time they said an elbow, and you got to keep those elbows. You can't bump somebody with the elbows. It's got to be with the gloves. And I know in some levels, it may be boxing in college where they have the white part on the glove. They maybe have red and blue gloves. But again, the official with some instruction, no warning, just instruction to the two ladies. There was one that was thrown, is good, and then Johnson counters, and she had a powerful punch, but it went over the head, and that time a little bit. Now there'll be a little bit of warning about hitting in the side, and both boxers get a warning about how they were doing things. Again, Johnson making that effort to get inside, but as you lean in, sometimes you commit violations. And some good punches thrown. And, of course, Johnson is with Title Boxing, Music City Boxing, representing Forkins. And, again, the warning, and I'm not sure if that one was for getting too close to a low hit. I saw it looked like a uppercut signal. And, again, I like this young man. He is keeping control and helping the boxers to box properly. And that ends the round there. 2 rounds are in the book on this match. Looking for an exciting third round. Forkins will want to try to use her reach and height advantage. Kanisha Johnson will want to try to get inside and really get a flurry of punches going. You're watching the Hub City Fight Night, brought to you by Worthy Road Studios on their Facebook page. Of course, these young people are associated with USA Boxing is a better way of put it, which eventually USA Boxing controls the going to the Olympics and stuff and getting fighters for that. USA Boxing very successful. You're in a historic arena that has housed golden gloves and silver gloves matches. Here's the third round starting. Johnson wants to throw her flurry. There's the reach by Forkins, and then Johnson got inside a little bit and got a couple of punches in. It'll be a tough one to score. About the time you think one's taking advantage, the other counters. They tie up temporarily but break. Forkins getting a few small jabs, light jabs in. Johnson trying to get to the stomach area and get inside because she's going against a young lady with longer reach. Forkins in the blue, Johnson in the red. Third round of this exciting match. Okay, and again, you can't duck that much, and the official keeping both young ladies boxing rather than doing other things. Johnson gets inside. Forker wants to tie her up on that, or Forkins. My apologies for the misnaming then. There's one to the head, but didn't have a lot of impact, and the headgear takes that. A wild swing that time, and ducking down, that makes it Tauren. And they get over here, and we've got a little exchange right here on the ropes, and they get out of there. Forkins in the blue, Johnson in the red, going after each other. And there's a couple of to the face, a third one to the face, and that time Forkins picked up some points. Johnson wants to get back inside, and sometimes that leaves you vulnerable to the person with the reach to get to your face. And again, in close, got to watch where the punches go, both fighters. And the bell has sounded. There's the sportsmanship, and we've seen nothing but sportsmanship. The scorecards will be collected. And, of course, they go and see each other's corner and congratulate. That's one of the things that teaches discipline in boxing. We'll total the points from the 3 rounds and see who has taken this one. The gloves have to come off, and so do the headgear, and they have to check the taping of the hands, and the taping job is called a boxer's hand. very apropos. You also use the boxer's hand. Can't hear me. Okay. And I am up loud. Okay. It's loud in this arena. It is very loud in this arena, too. And the reason I said Gary couldn't hear me, Gary, folks, you don't have this broadcast without Gary's excellent help. You see the belt brought to the ring. They check the taping of the hands because that's for protection. Looks like both coaches or the trainers did a great job protecting those hands. Now they've made an announcement. That's what you're hearing in the background from Ring 1. They had a great fight down there. We had a good one. Our ladies got after each other. And we will have it. Remember, Christine Forkins was in the blue. Kanisha Johnson was in the red corner. And they make the announcement down here. It's coming forth in a second. And it looks like that Christine Forkins has been awarded the decision in this one. We've got only 2 fights left here tonight. Folks, you still got time, though, to tell people that they've got 2 fights that they can see in Ring 2, and we're not sure where they are at Ring 1. Ring 1 is on the BallGame Blitz of Worthy Road Studios stream, and these fights here in Ring 2 are on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page. You are watching the Hub City Fight Night. Let's take a timeout, Gary, and we'll be back after this important timeout.
Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
And we are back, still awaiting the boxers for bout number 17. After that, this one will be Matthew Noor and Russell Roberts. We'll tell you where their corner is and their statistics. Then we had an 18th bout added, Jonat Colazo and Ian Hernandez. We don't have any statistics on them, but they will fight in the 18th and last fight in this. But this is boxing match number 17. Matthew Noor will be in the red corner, Russell Roberts in the blue corner. And once they get in, we'll tell you a little more about them. Now, again, we'll tell you to pay attention to the gloves because they don't necessarily wear the colors of the corner that they're in. And wearing the red gloves and coming out of the red corner will be Matthew Noor. Coming out of the blue corner, Russell Roberts. Matthew Noor is 21 years old, weighs 203.8 pounds. Russell Roberts is 28 years old, weighs 207.2 pounds. Roberts in the blue corner may have a little reach on Noor out of the red corner. We are just about ready after introductions for round 1 of the 17th bout of the night. instructions being given. You can see the two fighters. And actually, better to be called boxers. The term fighter really doesn't apply like they used to. These young people are boxing. They have skills. And the leather flying, a couple of hooks, usually jabs. Now, Noah is really coming. He's strong. Now, he loses some reach and height to Russell Roberts. And sometimes when you are the shorter fighter, you get to leaning in a little bit, and you can get called for a headbutt. He's getting a warning right now, no deduction of points or anything. And you can duck, but you can't duck and come up and under. Of course, I see a Hattiesburg Boxing Club on Roberts, and that means he must be from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He's come a long way. He using the strength, though, as Noah to back him into the corner. And now this time we will have the official talk, and he says that we had something in the corner, and we're going to take a small break. And we're ready for action again. Roberts got one good punch in there, and now again Noah getting inside, and he's using his strength against the reach of Roberts. Noah in the red, and let's see, he goes down, and will we get a standing 8 count? And I think did that end the, we'll see what the official says. Medical checking over here to see. The official goes to each table and giving them the instruction, because there is a judge at each table. Some of the tables will house 2. I got the headgear off, and I did not catch it. And I see some more of the medical personnel coming over to check Russell Roberts. They are collecting the score sheets or scorecards. And it looks like this bout has been called because the gloves are coming off, Gary, off of both fighters. And I would say that would indicate, and yes, with the belt up there and the plaque, this will be the end of this fight. It's been stopped. We'll get the official decision here in just a moment. A big night here at the Hub City Fight Night. A lot of trophies, plaques, and belts awarded. The official still collecting some of the scorecards, and it looks like and appears that Matthew Noer out of the red corner has won this bout. We have one more to come after this one, but we'll get the official decision. I have to check the tapings, which they're all done by expert people, and they do a good job. And here comes the official announcement. And Matthew Noer has won this match. He is the winner. And that leaves us with a match that was added to our bout sheet between Jonat Collazo and Ian Hernandez. This will be the 18th, and according to my sheet, the final bout in Ring 2. Tell you what, Gary, I think we may have time for a timeout. Let's take that timeout on Worthy Road Studio.
Worthy Road Studios. Worthy Road Studios is a full-service television and live streaming service that can provide live broadcast coverage outside of normal studios. We own all the equipment needed to produce live events. We are a road studio, meaning all equipment is portable. We can work out of small, unusual spaces not designed for broadcasting while still delivering a TV quality product. We use wireless communication systems and have invested in high-definition wireless video transmission. Worthy Road Studios has been producing local television for over 10 years. We work with different media organizations producing live high school sports, as well as Union University basketball and volleyball. We use multiple cameras, on-screen graphics, live scoreboards, and live picture-in-picture. We can do slow-motion instant replay with a telestrator. We can have referees mic'd and use sideline reporters with wireless microphones and cameras. Contact Worthy Road Studios by Facebook, YouTube, or call us at 731-499-1730. We would like to help you with your live event by streaming it to your Facebook page or to YouTube, all live.
And after gathering, I forgot how many years, Russ, not having done any boxing matches since 1988 when I got to work with the legend Bill Way a couple of times around here, I'm finally starting to get the rust off of me. And in the red corner, it's Jonart Collazo and Ian Hernandez coming out of the blue corner for the final bout tonight in Ring 2. These young men, you got a left-hander versus a right-hander here. Ian Hernandez, the left-hander, and looks like Collazo had him backed in the corner, but he escaped. And again, he tries a roundhouse, he being Hernandez. Jonart Collazo, a very strong-looking young man. Gives up just a slight loss of reach distance, but can get inside, and just like he did then. You see a couple of good punches. Some didn't land, he got blocked. And this has the makings of a very good boxing match. Again, Hernandez in the blue, Collazo in the red. You have to judge by the gloves on Collazo. And again, in the corner right in front of us, great pictures from Gary Lockhart. Change, a lot of leather flying, a lot being blocked, some lands. Just like you saw, that punch didn't quite reach, but it looked good. You'll see the jabs and you'll see some lunges too as they go and try to dispatch the opponent very quickly. A couple of roundhouse punches, some people call them. Everybody has a little different names. Terminology has changed some since I last did any boxing. And again, in the corner you hear get the 1-2, 1-2 situation, and that tells a boxer what to do. We're in the first round of the last match of Ring 2. And the bell rings, and that's the end of round 1. It's been a great night here at the Hub City Fight Night. Lamont Ingram and, of course, Rhonda Collins. And we've told you, if you heard us earlier, the story about Lamont getting into boxing and Rhonda's husband, Rayford, the late Rayford Collins, who's a Hall of Famer around here and in several boxing Hall of Fame. He was our coach and mentor, and he and Lamont developed a great relationship. Lamont's mother deserves a lot of credit, and he's giving back. He has Team Ingram at the Rayford Collins Boxing Club, and this is a great event. And Gary, correct me if I'm wrong, Gary's not mic'd up, but I think Paul Schultz and Worthy Road Studios did these matches the last time they were held before the COVID. And, of course, Steve Beverly and Paul at Ring 1, Paul Schultz, the head of it. Gary is my executive producer, and we're back for round 2, as you can see the young men going after it. And now a flurry by Collazo gets off, and trying to counter was Ian Hernandez. And Ian trying to throw that big left of his, but dancing and trying to block that punch. And there he gets it, but it was blocked well by Collazo. Good officiating all night. Just found out that the young lady that did the first matches was a brand new official. And she has acquitted herself, or done well if you prefer that. And Hernandez gets Collazo up against the ropes, but Collazo is able to jab his way out of it. These two young men throwing some punches, trying to maintain their balance and their footwork, which is good. Got the left-hander Hernandez versus the right-hander Collazo in this match. And again, I encourage you to make your judgments and score at home. The judges we have are at each side of the ring. And I believe they've got the big boys going in the other ring while we've got two well-matched young men going here. Again, we're in the second round of the 18th match of this ring. There's a swing and a miss, and kind of turning was Collazo. Now he's back up against the ropes. And with two rings going, and now it is the official end of the second round, and we will be coming up for the final round of boxing tonight in this ring. They are still going in ring one. We'll give you a recap of the last matches. We had already recapped earlier matches. I want to thank you for watching on Worthy Road Studios Facebook page. And again, any of you that missed it, any of you are watching, you can tell folks they can go back and watch these matches again on the YouTube page of Worthy Road Studios. And they'll have both the BallGame Blitz and the Worthy Road Studios Facebook matches. So you'll have two rings that you can watch on YouTube from Worthy Road Studio. Here we go. Final round. Collazo wearing the red. Blue is Ian Hernandez. Jannard Collazo with the red gloves and a little charge. He's wearing the black boxing attire. Hernandez has blue. Hernandez wants to throw a hook with his lead hand, his right hand, backing the other fighter up. Now, some of those swings, now you got to watch that and not leave yourself open. Always want to have your gloves up and be in protection mode. Blocking the punches of Collazo. Collazo slipped one punch through. There's one that may have been blocked down too. About the time the referee saw it, you probably saw a better picture from Gary Lockhart on there. There's a little jab that got through to the stomach. A swing and a miss by Collazo. Important 2 minutes. 3 rounds, 2 minutes. Last round of this important match. And, of course, you can hear Ian Hernandez, coach, really excited and trying to help his young man with instructions. Hernandez has the reach. Looks like that Jannard Collazo has the strength to get inside on some of these. When you are boxing, you use the advantages or things your strength. And I believe that will end the third round, and we'll have to await the judge's decision on this 18th and final match of the night from ring 2. It's been a great night of boxing here. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know Gary and I have enjoyed bringing it to you for Worthy Road Studios, the Hub City Fight Night. Worthy Road Studios and Facebook bringing you Facebook streaming on both the BallGame Blitz and Worthy Road Studios. The belt has shown up. The plaque is here. The gloves and the headgear are off. And again, safety always emphasized. And we'll find out in just a moment who the winner of this match is. They are tallying and double checking. And it looks like that Janart Collazo comes out of the Music City Club. I'm not sure which club that Hernandez comes from. And it looks like Collazo has taken the final bout of the night. Both young men acquitted themselves well. Janart Collazo, the winner of that match over Ian Hernandez. They'll go to the medical staff and get checked up. We told you the last from about 12 on, we will recap. We've already recapped the others. Isaiah Jihad won his match over Christian Santizo. Julius Fleming won bout 13 over Joshua Richardson. Bout 14 was won by Shemaiah Humphreys over Alexis Brown. In bout 15, Richard Colbert won over Arian Alotu. In bout 16, the winner was Christine Forkins over Kenesha Johnson. In bout 17, Matthew Noer was the winner over Russell Roberts. And in the match you just saw, Janart Collazo was a winner over Ian Hernandez. A great night of boxing. And again, we want to thank all the volunteers that worked. We want to thank Lamont Ingram and Rhonda Collins for the great work that they do. And, of course, Lamont, the coach of Team Ingram and runs the Rayford Collins Boxing Center. Rhonda, a longtime fixture, along with her late husband. And for the folks that are listening from out of town, Rayford Collins was boxing. He is the young man that, well, he's not young and he has passed away, but he developed the Beard brothers, including Jackie Beard that boxed on the Olympic team that didn't get to go to Russia in '80. Donald Bowers, who also had similar things. Both of those young men boxed professionally. Ricky Beard boxed. Matter of fact, Obi Beard did quite a bit of boxing, and they're not the only ones, those families, but Rayford was Mr. Boxing as far as training. He was a former Golden Gloves boxer himself. Matter of fact, Jimmy Carmichael in the history of boxing around here and helped Rayford some. And, of course, this program has had a lot of great backing through the years, including the Rotary Club and the Jackson Old Hickory Rotary Club, the Exchange Club for years going back in the 60s. Mid-South Golden Gloves Boxing was here both for the West Tennessee and Mid-South, held for years, and we've had crowds of 5,000 people before in Oman Arena, a very historic arena. And I'm going to check with my producer. And Gary, I believe we are about ready to wrap up. And Gary says it is. We just want to thank everybody. You can still catch boxing on the BallGame Blitz in Ring 1. We have had a great time. Congratulations to all the athletes. There are no losers. Now, somebody may walk off with the decision and be the winner of the match, but you don't lose the discipline, the integrity, the fundamentals, the skill, the control of temper and stuff. The sportsmanship has been great tonight. Thank to all the judges for all of the good things they did tonight, keeping control and protecting the safety of these young people. And we'll remind you that any rebroadcast, retransmission, or further use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Worthy Road Studios is prohibited. For Gary Lockhart, Paul Schultze, Steve Beverly, and Coach Joe Holloway will say thanks for your time this time. Till next time, good night all.